What is going on, YouTube? Anthony here with Pistons Talk, DSA above the rim. Let me introduce you guys to the panel. To my right, we have our resident doctor, our scout, Bravo. Bravo, how's it going?
What's up, everybody? How is everybody doing? Looking forward to talk about this today, and let's go Pistons.
Next, we have the heart of the city, 313 JMO. What's going on, man?
What's good? What's good, everybody? It's Free Smoke Saturday. We in the building, man. What's good?
And last but not least, we have Detroit Drew. What's going on, man?
Yo, what's up, peeps, man? Shout out to everybody in the chat. Make sure you come in and like that video, man. We're starting off 2021 way better than 2020 as we are currently undefeated. Whoa, you can have the chat smaller now? Oh.
Yes, sir. Yeah. StreamYard actually did an update.
Wait,
who says size doesn't matter?
Okay.
I like it. I like it. So we're going to get into our first topic of the show. So Killian Hayes has struggled to find a shot so far. So my question to you guys is, if he continues to struggle with his shot, should the Pistons look to bring him off the bench? JMO, I'm going to start with you first.
If he continues to struggle with his shot, should the Pistons bring him off the bench? If he's been playing like he's been playing, then no, because I feel like he hasn't really hurt the team that much. He hasn't really helped us on offense that much, but he hasn't hurt us, and he does make the right plays, and he finally got his turnovers now, and he's playmaking. If we have to just use him as a playmaker and have him out there for 23 minutes like the Wayne Casey wants and have Derrick Rose close the game, I just say you keep doing it and letting him learn, but I just don't see how – he's not gonna shoot that bad for 70-some games. Like, that's crazy. But like, if it continues, like, I'm gonna continue to start him as long as Dwayne Casey. Like, I don't know why Dwayne Casey started him on one ankle. So, so at this point, I'm just like, just put him out there because he definitely has to learn. But yeah.
So, Detroit Drew, what do you think about this? And if he continues to struggle, would you think about bringing him off the bench?
Right now, it's kind of a weird time to do so. It's too early in the season for that. I don't think you can at this point.
Okay.
Because you gave him the offense. You said, all right, you're our guy. You're the face. Go run the team. Well, Blake Griffin's in concussion protocol right now. Right now, he's still on the team. The offense goes through Blake Griffin. So when he's out there, we've seen it. Him and Derrick Rose don't really gel as well as we would have liked to. Killian does more than score. Coming out of the draft, who called him a scorer? No one called him a scorer. He played defense, and he was a great playmaker. He's doing that. We got the player we drafted. Now it's on for the development process of him being more aggressive. Me personally, I think what he needs to do to get out of this slump is just be more aggressive, attacking the rim. I like it when he's going in, getting contact. He's not getting fouls yet because he's a rookie. He's got to earn those stripes, but he needs to be more aggressive. And that's a coaching thing. Like, Rose has to be the mentor to him and be like, hey, man, start attacking. Try to draw some contact. Get some fouls. Go to the line. You'll get more points there. Even if he goes to the line 3 times a game, that's going to be 5 or 6 points right there. That's a start. And then Blake Griffin's got to do the same thing, and Dwayne Casey's got to take him there. Be like, Killian, bro, listen, you got a nice step back. It's not falling right now. Shorten it up. Take some mid-range. Get down low. Feed Blake. Throw some more lobs to Plumlee or Grant. Do whatever you got to do to get in rhythm. I think just when he's shooting the ball, I don't know if he's, like, confident in it yet. I still think he's like a rookie. He's got those butterflies still. Like, it's surreal to him that he's actually playing in the NBA. But everything else he's doing fine with. He's a good rebounder, great defender, good playmaker. His scoring is going to come. He's a project. He's not the number 1 overall pick. We drafted him at 7. Everyone needs to chill. He's only 19. Like I say, where were you at 19? You weren't in the NBA. So just relax. He's not a bust. Just be patient with him. But put him on the bench. I don't like that. It kills young players' confidence, and we've seen it done before. Dare I mention Stanley Johnson?
Yeah. So, Bravo, you know Killian's been struggling so far. I feel like you were one of the first guys to tell us about Killian Hayes because you were watching highlights of him. You were studying his film. You watched him over in Germany and Ulm. What are your thoughts about if he continues to struggle, should the Pistons bring him off the bench?
No. I would not, because simply you want him to get through this breakdown. You want him to learn from his mistakes, from this high intensity environment for him. He's always going to struggle. I definitely thought he will, because he's not as fast as explosive as other players. He's more crafty and more of a really like he's more of a Dragic player. He's not like a super athlete. No, but he's a good athletic guy. But besides, if you take him off the bench, I can understand the rationale behind that. You want to put less pressure on him. That's the only advantage. If you want to put less pressure on Killian, put him off the bench. That's the only advantage for him. Maybe he'll be able to score more. But I don't think that's the right way, because right now he's going through a really rough time. I know very well about him. He's going through a rough time. He's not able to focus when he let that shot go, and he's not letting it fly for sure. So what I would do, let him go through this. He learn from his mistakes, and eventually get better. That's first. Second, you don't want to take Killian Hayes and put him on the bench, because he's right now our best point guard defender, probably after what's the other guy, 55? I forgot his name.
Right.
He is really a good defender, and he is playing that role defense that Bruce Brown, Kyrie Thomas had last year. I think he's a decent defender. He follows. I mean, he's not as good as them, but he eventually will be as good. I'm surprised by his defense. He defends a lot better. He defends a lot better than D Rose. You actually put D Rose in the game, he's not going to defend as good as Killian. Killian is a better defender. He's able to steal the ball for you. He's able to shuffle his feet. He's able to switch on defenders. He's able to track those point guards. So I think he's a good defender. I'd like to keep him. He's defending the ball. He's the one-on-one defender. He's able to make that pass. That's what I want from him. I don't want him to take a shot right now if I'm the Pistons coach. I'd rather him chill. If the shot is open right there, take it. If you don't really need to force it, don't even need to be aggressive. He's a very good player. I know him very well. He needs to focus on his current minutes. He needs to focus on making his teammates better. That's what he wants to. What I want him to.
I would probably agree with all of you. I only brought this up because, there's a lot of pressure on him being the starting point guard of this team. And, at times he looks really great out there. He had 2 plays last night, threw a lob to Plumlee. Love seeing that. Then the next play, he throws up behind that back pass to Josh Jackson for a transition 3. And I'm like, okay, that's the Killian I know. But then he has certain situations where he's not as confident playing off the ball. You guys know Blake Griffin is playing that point forward. Killian's, he'll pass the ball. He'll, run in the corner or just try to, find an open space on the perimeter. He just doesn't really look too comfortable playing with Blake Griffin or Mason Plumlee. And you guys said be more aggressive. I think he should be more aggressive. You're 215 pounds. You're 6'5". Use that frame against smaller guards. And I know he does have an ankle injury. I don't know how much that is bothering him right now. I'm not going to give him that excuse. But at some point, you're going to have to use your frame and get to the line, because there's not too many point guards in the league that are 215 pounds.
Right.
I can't even name probably 3 that are over 200 pounds. Most point guards are pretty damn skinny. I think that he is very left dominant right now. He doesn't really like going right. And, that is something that we all know that he needs to get better at. But my only thing is, if he's struggling, bringing him off the bench with maybe DeLon Wright and starting Derrick Rose or something like that, or vice versa, starting DeLon Wright. And maybe you have Derrick Rose and Killian together, maybe it would bring more pressure off of him. That was my only point I was thinking. I know it's 5 games. It's too quick to kind of, speculate like what's going on with him or what we see out there through the first 5 games plus this preseason. You have to remember, training camp. Training camp is really short, maybe like 3 or 4 days, and then no summer league. So he's still struggling out there. I want to see him do well at the end of the day. But that's
I wanted to say something about. I think Drew said something earlier about his jump shot. But see, this is why I always bring it back to coaching. If you know your point guard is struggling, why aren't you basing the offense around him? Why aren't you calling plays at the beginning of the game so he can always get easy baskets? This is what great coaches do. Instead, you make him run your offense and you be a role player and he has to find his offense on his own. That's why he's always taking all of these hero-looking shots, because that's the only time he gets the ball to be open. And I think Zuka Vision says, so nobody think it's a problem that Killian don't have a quick first step what do you say? Don't have good handles and don't have a jumper, but he's a starting point guard. But see, I disagree with your assessment. I think Killian don't have a problem getting by people. He can get by people with his dribble and get to the rim. He just has missed a shot. I think his handles have been pretty solid. And he doesn't have a jumper. A lot of point guards coming to the league don't have jumpers their first year. So I'm not worried about that either. See, y'all being too hard on the guy and like y'all acting like he don't got no abilities offensively, and I just don't get it. Like we literally seen him shake good defenders already, shake and bake. And you trying to say he don't got good handles. Like I don't get it. Like he's not getting the ball stolen from him no more. Like he's not turning the ball over. He can get space and find space. That's why he's able to make plays. So, I think when it's coming to that, that's what Dwayne Casey has to start calling plays for him in the pick and roll so he can get going early. Because that's what I see so many other teams do this for players. So when they know what they're doing, and that's the way you help, especially a young point guard like Killian. That's the way you help him early. I mean, you wasn't doing him no favors starting him on an injured ankle. Like you wasn't doing him no favors doing that. So like I don't know what he wanted to see from that, but we won the game. So yeah. So like
yeah, I mean you see fans, they'll talk to you. They'll show you the box score of another point guard that was drafted maybe above Killian or below him, saying, he's not really scoring, but he impacts the game in different ways. When I watch him play, he's very pass first. He's going to get his teammates involved. He's unselfish. Like he's going to pass the ball. He's not really looking to score. And I think when fans watch the game, or if they don't watch the game and they're just looking at the box score saying this kid's a bust. He's not a bust. It's 5 games. Can we just pump the brakes a little bit? He's a pass-first point guard. He's always going to be a pass-first point guard. But, hey, he can score. It's just not going in right now. That shot looks really good. The shot doesn't really give me, too much to worry about because the form looks good. He's not, coming down in a weird position. I think with more repetition, more practice with development coaches, the shot's going to go in eventually. I think they just need to calm down a little bit.
You see a lot of him trying to find space and a lot of like short shots. So that when he's trying to find space and short shots, it's telling me he's trying to get used to the length and the speed and the way that he can get his shots off in this league like that. So he's been trying it. Some of the shots just haven't gone in. We've seen a few floaters and things, but like fans be killing me with that stuff, man. Like y'all don't see nothing positive. Y'all ignore his great defense and his good passing. You just only focus on one thing.
Well, you guys make great points. I can't feed off of it. He is a pick and roll point guard. And like Pistons Talk says, he doesn't really click with Plumlee because what is Plumlee doing in the pick and roll? Like once he sets the pick, he's not really a threat to pop. So no one's going to go that way. And he's not really fast enough to explode to the rim for an alley-oop or anything. So that play already is taking away the pass. Killian, watch his highlights when he played overseas. He shot a lot of mid-range jumpers off of the screen. He's not getting those looks because the screens aren't really good screens. Like no one's afraid of Plumlee rolling to the hoop. And if he does, they have time to switch, to adjust, pick up, whatever. So that threat's gone. I'm really, really, really encouraged to see Stewart get an increase in minutes because he is that threat. Mm-hmm. If you play him, look, Bay starts. Who's his point guard? Killian Hayes. He's going bananas right now. He's shooting 50% over the last 2 or 3 games from behind the arc. He's like 10 of 20 right now. Again, Killian is setting up the offense with Blake Griffin being out. Stewart plays. He almost had a double-double. I don't think he really played with Killian that much, but that's the guy, the type of guy Killian needs. If we would have went out in free agency and got a JaVale McGee, a Dwight Howard, one of those big guys who are actually a pick-and-roll threat, Killian's assist numbers would be back up, way up, and they're good right now. But then his scoring would also be up, so that way he can get that shot off. So it's not the right personnel fit. And Blake's, I don't know what's going on with Blake. I don't know if he's still not healthy yet, but Blake doesn't look athletic anymore. So if you want to do the pick and roll with him, again, the same kind of problem. He's not explosive enough to get to the rim. So I think it's a personnel fit. We kind of got a weird starting lineup where it's just kind of a bunch of random dudes thrown together. I really think if they want to run the pick and roll, run it with Grant. Do a 1-3 pick and roll.
That would be better. Running with Grant or
dangerous option you have.
Right.
You know, the piggyback off your point, when you think of Mason Plumlee, you don't really think of a screen setter. When Mason Plumlee gets the ball, he's initiating the offense. I think Brian mentioned it in one of our previous live streams. Mason Plumlee is leading the Detroit Pistons in assists right now. So Plumlee's playing a point center.
Yeah.
He's good. He's good at it.
I'm just looking at Mr. Ray said you can set 1,000,000 screens against Hayes and they'll go under it. Let them go under it. Like, y'all really think Killian gonna miss mid-range jumpers all day and all night that's wide open, set off a good screen? He's not. That's his game. Like, let them go under the screen and they'll get burned for sure. I definitely believe that, man. But yeah, plum vision. No, like I told you, didn't I tell y'all? And I was complaining about Plumlee not setting no picks. I told y'all, like we have a pick and roll point guard, but your center can't set picks. Okay.
Yeah, I'd love to see Stewart and Killian together. I think Stewart sets better screens. Even Ja sets better screens than Plumlee right now. But speaking of Ja, as you guys know, he had an ankle injury. And we've seen the emergence of Isaiah Stewart. What are your thoughts on him over the past 3 games? Detroit, I'm going to start with you.
I was high on Stewart when we drafted him anyway. I love his intensity. And then I love that interview that came out after he got drafted where none of the other centers wanted to talk about him because if they did, it would boost his value and diminish theirs. When you get a guy like that, you have to be happy. Like, Stewart embodies the city of Detroit. When you think about Detroit basketball, this is the type of player you want here. He's not flashy. He's hardworking. He's all over the place. He wants every single rebound. This guy, through 5 games, he hasn't even played in all 5 games, is leading the league in offensive rebounds right now at 4.5 per game. This is what we need. We needed the jolt. He gave us that spark of energy against the Celtics after – they came back. We needed this guy. I wasn't high on the draft night show, Ben. Chill out. But come on, man. I think Okafor's minutes are in trouble. I love Okafor. I like what he brings to the team. I think he was a solid pickup. But he will be inconsistent at times when he's not active or engaged. Stewart, he's going to have bad games, and he has a lot to learn still. But every single night, rather if he has 20,000 rebounds in a game or if he has 0, he's going to go out there and give it his all. And that's all you can ask for him. And a lot of young guys, they don't have that instinct right away. Like, he doesn't care if he goofs up. There's a couple times I've seen where he's gone for a rebound on the defensive end and he's accidentally tipped it in. It's happened like 2 or 3 times. But he's still going out there every night and he's trying to grab those boards. So I admire him. I hope he continues to get minutes even when Okafor is 100% healthy. Okafor will be back literally any day now. He'll probably play Sunday. It's my prediction. But Stewart's here. He's making a name for himself inside the Pistons organization, and you'll be a fool not to play him. We do have a 3-headed monster at the center position. They're all different. Plumlee's a passer, so if you want to do those high post-ups, behind-the-back passes he does or whatever the hell you want to call that, then you got Okafor, who's going to be a block threat post-up player. Then you got Stewart here, who's going to come in here, contest shots, and get rebounds. I like it. I think he's got a bright future for the Pistons, and hopefully throughout the season he's going to get an intake in minutes. So I got my eye on him. I definitely got my eye on him.
JMO, what do you think about Isaiah Stewart these past 3 games?
Drew just made me think about something about Mason Plumlee that I want to talk about before
Go ahead.
I'm tired of him dribble. Why is he dribbling the basketball?
You want to know what pisses me off the most about Plumlee? He will stand on the perimeter with his hands up calling for the ball. Everyone and their moms knows you're not going to shoot that rock. Why are you calling for it?
Yeah, why is Plumlee getting ISO plays? Why is Plumlee dribbling the basketball? Like, I'm dead serious. Like, I don't want him ever doing that. But, like, that's what I be talking about with coaching. Plumlee should never be dribbling anything. Like, we've had so many turnovers and just bad offensive possessions. Like, why is he dribbling the basketball? Like, I don't understand. Like, every time he start dribbling, I'll be like, what the hell is going on? Why are you dribbling? Pass it. Like, what are you doing?
He's out here calling ISOs. He's clearing everybody out.
He like, I'm like, yo, and they be giving and Pistons. Why are y'all giving him the ball? Why are y'all letting him dribble? Why aren't you calling for the ball? Like, that's something that I'm very, very upset about.
Yeah, it reminds me of Drummond a few years ago. You guys remember
Drummond can dribble the ball way better than Plumlee.
At least Drummond was in the skills challenge, at least. So I
mean, Drummond can dribble the ball, and see, the thing is, Drummond is not gonna get dribble happy. He gonna get a ball to players. You know, he'll dribble it up every once in a while, but he ain't gonna like Plumlee dribbled it up one possession and tried to score like he was a point guard. I'm like, yeah, Plumlee, you gotta go. But Isaiah Stewart has been amazing to me. He's been our best center, even though Plumlee has been getting 5 offensive rebounds a game. The last 3 games he's gotten 5 offensive rebounds. He had 17 rebounds in the last game. So, but Stewart is the energy. He's the heart and soul of the team already. Like I say, he's the toughest, most grittiest person on the team already, man. I know just where that brother from, man. Man, I love Stewart, man. I love Isaiah Stewart, man. He's one of my favorite players. He's gonna be a leader of the team. He already looking like it, and his vets on the team. That boy is a different breed. Okafor in all types of trouble. You ain't gonna never see the court again. I don't think it's gonna be 20 games. Okafor not gonna be getting on time like that. It's gonna be Stewart getting 25 minutes a night. That boy is balling. I'm very, very high on him right now, and it's good to see that how his effort rubs off on the team, and it's been helping us defensively. And he's gotten smarter with his picks and his aggressiveness. It just helps the team. Plumlee ain't no point center. Plumlee wish he was a point center. He playing with Jokic, now he think he a point center.
He's a center guard.
Bro, you better stop, bro. He ain't no point center, bro.
Bro, what do you think about Isaiah Stewart over these past 3 games?
I'm loving it, really. He's really bring the energy, like you guys mentioned, hustle, and he just kind of reminds me of Montrezl Harrell, energy kind of player. He always he's always jumping like this, and his hair is popping up back and forth. It feels like he's a full with energy guy. That's how I like about him. But yeah, I like his rebounds, his ability to hustle. I think he could get more minutes instead of Okafor. I think I would if the Pistons want to play Okafor, I can understand it, but I'd probably split the minutes between him and Okafor, or I give him more minutes over Okafor if possible. The thing is, you need to also Stewart also needs to learn the offensive game. He doesn't have an offensive game right now. He doesn't know how to set up, except screen and except maybe pretty much for offensive rebound. So he needs to learn how to do the post. He's a good post, but he's not really doing it effectively in the NBA. Same thing with his role, pick and roll. He's not. Yeah. They not put him in a pick and roll situation. I haven't seen him Piston guards playing him with pick and roll yet. They try to set him off screen for D Rose, but we haven't seen D Rose making a lob to Isaiah Stewart. I don't think I've seen it yet. Maybe it was just incidental. So he needs to learn the offense. That's why I think we should also put him in the game.
I don't really think he's a lob center though. I think he's the kind of guy who catches the ball and goes up with it. I don't for one, he's 6'9". Yeah. He's athletic, but I don't know how above the rim he can actually get. No pun intended. But he can dunk, but I don't. He does, but I don't think he's one of those guys. If you overthrow it a lot, he's not going to be able to go up there that high to get it.
I mean, It's only 2 of those guys in the league, 3 of those guys in the league.
No, look though, Dwight Howard can still do it. Yeah, he's got.
Dwight Howard is a freaking nature.
Christian Wood could do it. Giannis, well, he's 7 foot tall.
I don't know about Christian.
It's a different kind of athletic though. He can dunk, but
yeah.
I don't know. It's not
a
lot. Hard to kind of context and make it make sense. But.
Even Montrezl Harrell is probably he can jump more than I see Montrezl Harrell. They pick up the lobs, and I like to compare him to Montrezl Harrell. He's a really high energy player. So
yeah, he's great. He's still in the pick and roll though. He's what Mr. Ray said. He's 260 pounds. He's a brick wall, bro. You bump into him, you're not going to be able to go anywhere. Again, that's why Killian needs to be playing with him, but whatever.
Yeah, I saw a play last night. I don't know which Celtic player it was, but they tried to run around the screen, and he ran into Stewart, and he fell on his ass. I was just laughing. I was just man, that is crazy. I love his energy. I sent him a message on Instagram, and I said, fans are already comparing you to Ben Wallace. And we saw today from Rod Beard, the Detroit News, that he's spoken to Ben Wallace already. He's talking about Dennis Rodman. He was talking about Ben Wallace. He's like, I see those guys up in the rafters all the time. He's becoming a fan favorite. Like, yeah. You keep talking about the past and the centers before you, man. Fans are gonna run through a brick wall for you. Like, everyone's just like, Killian, no, Isaiah Stewart. No. My messages have been nothing but Isaiah Stewart for the past 2 weeks. They just love what he's about. They love his energy, and Detroit fans love that gritty guy that will dive onto the floor, play hard, hustle, no excuse, no bullshit. Just go out there and play hard. I love him. Someone said his minutes are probably going to be over Jahlil Okafor. I would happen to agree with that. I've told you guys on the live stream before, Ja to me is a very niche player. You're going to put him in certain matchup situations. If you want a bucket, you go with Ja. If you want hustle, you want everyone to run hard, you're going with Stewart 9 times out of 10. These 3 games that I've seen, you got to give him 20 minutes a night. But that's just my opinion on it. Like, I love what I see from him so far. I know he has a lot of work to do. Protecting the paint, I'd like to see him do more of that. It's not, maybe his game because he's kind of a below the rim center. But I feel like he can protect the paint a little bit better. But other than that, I've been so impressed with him.
Again, though, he's like you said, below the rim player. He's a center that can switch out on people and guard guards. Like, he's a great switch defender. That sounds really, really weird. No, don't take it there, Ben. I know what you're thinking, bro. But yeah, he's a different kind of defender. Like, I don't want to compare him to Dre, but Dre really wasn't a rim protector. He got more steals than blocks. I kind of have a feeling that's the route Stewart's going to go. He's got really great reaction time, really good hands. So I don't know if he'll ever be like a paint presence, but he's down there. Like, you're going to feel him. The thing that stands out the most to me is when he does rebound. They don't really teach us anymore. Like, when I was growing up, I played center, and this is what they taught you. When the ball goes up, you look to find out where your man's at. Then you put a body on him and box out. Then you go and get the basketball. That's exactly what he does. He's not looking to see where the ball's going. He's worrying about that later. He's trying to find the guy he's supposed to be guarding, boxes him out. So that way, if he doesn't get the rebound, he knows damn well that guy's not going to get it. And that is huge. That's fundamentals right there. So I love that. I love that.
Yeah, Zuka Vision. I've seen this comparison a lot. Jason Maxiell. I think Drew.
That's one of my favorite players ever for the Pistons. No, he is Jason. You know what? He reminds me exactly of Jason Maxiell. Now that you brought him up,
you're welcome.
The same hustle, the same man, and I love Jason Maxiell.
Everyone thought it was crazy that he was Zach Randolph.
Hey, man, no, he does remind me of a Jason Maxiell. Like, once he gets some more skill to his game, man, he can be a better version of Jason Maxiell, man.
Yeah, I think that's a really low floor comparison. I was talking to
he's a tall version of Jason Maxiell, bro.
I was talking to a OKC fan because he's familiar with Troy Weaver, and he was just like, it's such a Troy Weaver pick. It was like the way Steven Adams plays, Isaiah Stewart kind of plays the same way. He sets picks, he rebounds. Really big dude, hard to get around the screens. And I was just like, man, I didn't even think about that. But I just love what I've seen from him so far. But we are going to go to the next topic. So over the last 4 games, Jerami Grant has been averaging 26.5 points per game. Do you guys believe he can keep this up? Bravo, I'm going to start with you first.
I do believe he's a 20-point plus scorer in this Pistons team because he's probably the best player on the Pistons right now. And I'm going to say he's the best player because he's going to take more shots. He's more athletic than Blake right now. He's going to be probably like the main guy on our team. So I don't know about 26 points per game, but maybe 20 plus points per game. I'd be happy with a 2022. And that will be a candidate for most improved player. I come back and say it. He is increasing his I sent you guys a sample of his stats. He tremendously increased his shot volume. Like, he's shooting 7.9 3-point shots per game compared to Denver. He was only shooting 3.5. He was shooting under 4 times. He's now shooting 7 to 10 times per game. That's like Blake Griffin 2018. So that's like ridiculous number of volume. It looks like the Troy Weaver is asking him and Casey to be the main guy, run the offense. So I do expect him to be 20 plus point scorer, and I do feel like he's a most improved candidate player if the NBA approves it, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean that's a really. I'm glad you brought that up, Bravo, because in Denver, I think he was shooting 39% on 3.5 attempts. You brought us to us. I can't talk. You brought that stat to our attention that he's shooting 7 threes on 33%, which that's still pretty good. That's like league average, but you're shooting 7 threes a game like you're Steph Curry out there. I think he can keep up the point per game average. I think he could steadily be a 25 point per game average because we've seen he's chucking 25 shots a night. I think he can definitely be around there. But what do you think about this, JMO? Do you think he can keep this average up?
I mean, if Blake is out, yeah, but if Blake is playing, I don't know about 25, maybe like 23, 22 type of thing. But because like if Blake is out there, he won't be taking 25 shots a game, maybe 20, but I mean, I think that he definitely can keep this up if he stays aggressive like he is. I would like him to make more 3-point shots. I mean, Blake did shoot 36% on 6.5 attempts. So, we got to get that 3-point percentage up, man. But no, he's gonna be scoring for the Pistons because he's the go-to scorer right now. But as long as Blake is out, he'll be averaging 26. And if Blake comes back, it'll probably go down a few points. But Jerami Grant has been very productive, and he finding his points out there.
Drew, what do you think about this? You think he can keep this average up, or you think it's a fluke?
Oh no, he for sure has an opportunity to do so. He gets a lot of great looks. A lot of those seven threes he takes per game, I would say about 5 of them are just wide open. He gets a lot of great looks. But the thing that he's starting to do now that he really wasn't doing good to start the season is he's attacking the paint more. You can see, I don't know what Thias has done to him, but he put that man on a poster and people went crazy. Everyone's like, all right, Grant's back. Like, here we go. I knew he could score, but now he's getting the opportunity. He looks comfortable. He looks rested. That one game, what was it, Atlanta, he got off to a terrible start. Was it Golden State? I don't remember. That's going to happen. Mm-hmm. But he has the range to shoot the 3. He has no leash on him. Casey said, hey, man, go out there, do your thing. We're not going to play Sekou, so you can go out there and play 50 minutes a game, put up your 50 shots so you can get this 25 points. But I'm not hating on Grant, man. I like Grant. I like the signing anyway. But, yeah, he's got a great opportunity to keep doing this, especially Blake's on borrowed time right now. Once Blake's out of there, they're going to go right through Jerami Grant. So he might even get an intake in minutes. It might go up. He might be averaging 30 by the time the year's over. So, especially if we trade Blake. Bold prediction.
Yeah, I mean, I saw this morning Hoops Hype had Jerami Grant in the most improved player conversation already, and we're only 5 games into the season. And, if you're averaging 25 points a game throughout the season, I think you definitely are going to be in that conversation. Mm-hmm. He has a way bigger role, and I think a lot of people, when they saw the signing, they really didn't get it because even in his OKC days, he was kind of that, 3rd or 4th option with Russ and PG, and then he went to Denver, and he was still like a 3rd or 4th option because you had Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic. Now he's like a 1st, 2nd option on this team, and he started off the game like really hot, and then he kind of came back down to reality. I think, with the more repetition, I think he's going to shoot around 40, 45%, maybe 30 from 3, 80 from the free throw line. I think he's a really good player, and I think this is on the defensive end. He's so versatile. I think he could probably guard 5 positions in the NBA because he's just so long. He's quick on his feet, and I just really like the signing. But we're going to get on to our next topic. We're going to be talking about another wing, a hometown favorite, Josh Jackson. So he's recently moved to the starting shooting guard position. Do you guys feel he can hold on to that position all season long? JMO, I'm going to start with you.
Actually, I don't.
Oh, okay.
Sadiq Bey, man. Look, if Bey is consistent, then we'll see. But if Bey isn't consistent, but Josh Jackson, he's got to get used to the starting lineup, man, and he's been balling. But Sadiq Bey is the only one. I wouldn't be surprised if at some point in the season, Sadiq Bey is a shooting guard because that's what they play now. Jackson is more of a small forward, but I think if Blake is gone, then they'll both be starting according to Dwayne Casey, because Sekou ain't getting no looks like Drew said. So they gonna get all their shots. So, but I think he'll be starting for a while. But I wouldn't be surprised if Saddiq Bey could push for the spot.
Drew, what do you think about that?
Josh Jackson is a transition player. The best games he's had, he's been attacking a lot. With Killian and Blake Griffin out there, they're not really pushing it as much as I would like. I really think he fits with Derrick Rose a lot better right now. Until Killian can grow and have free reign to push it in transition, I don't think he's going to put up as good as numbers as he was off the bench. So I like the fit with him and Derrick Rose better, but he's still our best guard at the two. Luke, he's been MIA all season. DeLon Wright, he's okay, but again, he shouldn't be a starter. He should come off the bench. Don't want to see McGriddle. Don't want to see Wayne Ellington. And I really like Saddiq Bey at the 3. Either way, though, he's interchangeable at the 2 and the 3. As long as Sadiq's out there, I don't care. Just have that guy out there getting some minutes and putting up some shots. But I'm kind of with JMO, man. I think that 2 guard is going to be a revolving door all season long, depending on who's hurt, matchups, stuff like that. Okay. So I'm pulling for Josh Jackson. I hope he can stay starting, so that way people outside the Pistons can realize how much he's improved. But I don't know if that's going to be the case. So we'll have to wait and see.
Bravo, what do you think about Josh Jackson holding on to that shooting guard spot? Do you think it'll happen all year?
Sounds like it for me. Probably going to stick with Josh Jackson right now. Probably most of the year, and maybe at the end of the year, like after the trade deadline, where I could see the Detroit Pistons playing like other guys, or just be by the closed trade deadline, that I could see them bringing in like Bey or even Svi. I mean, they don't even have a consistent shooting guard position yet, except for Josh Jackson. They could be changing things. It all depends on injury and stuff like that, or workload for each player. I still feel like Svi is the guy we should use. Not maybe as a start, but maybe in the future if he really can defend the ball. I mean, he's probably my favorite shooting guard because he's the guy. He's gonna knock it down. He's the highest chance of scoring as a shooting guard. He's got a good size too. But Josh Jackson right now is living up to the shooting guard position. Bey, I mean, I can see him like shooting guard dash small forward with. It all depends on how he's really. Taking the minutes and how he's really using the best of his scoring ability. If he's not scoring much, I can see him like the Pistons. Like I don't know, he played really well in the last game, but we saw the game or a couple of games before that he wasn't really good. So it all depends on how he performs. The rookies are sometimes not consistent. I do feel like it's Josh Jackson because he's been more consistent this year.
I believe the main reason why Casey has put him in there is defensive purposes. Now, DeLon Wright, as you guys know, was in the starting lineup with Killian, and I said it's probably just a security blanket thing. I think Casey is experimenting to see if Killian can kind of be that player where he doesn't really need DeLon Wright out there playmaking. But I think Josh Jackson could be the long-term shooting guard unless we make a trade or something like that, because he's versatile. Like you said, Drew, Derrick Rose and him play really well together because they're both transition players. They love to run. Killian isn't really – I don't want to say he's not a transition player because I really haven't seen him run transition plays like Derrick Rose has, because I've been watching Derrick Rose for years. I know what to expect from him. Killian, I'm still watching him. I'm still trying to figure out what he likes to do. I know he loves to do a lot of half-court settings. Transition so far, once in a while. I think that – eventually, we probably will see a point guard that gels with Josh Jackson a little bit better. So far, it's just kind of experimental.
That pass that Josh Jackson was in transition wasn't. I just feel like we haven't really seen him in transition as much. But
yeah,
I think he can be very good in transition too. Not like Derrick Rose, because Derrick Rose one of a kind. But I definitely think he can be good in transition. We've seen a few plays, but you got to put him out there with players that can run.
Like not with Blake. You can't put him with Blake.
Right. Put him out there with Blake, slow molasses. And I love
it goes hand in hand with being more aggressive. Once he becomes more aggressive, once he gets the rebound, he's going to go.
Yeah, I wanted to put this comment out because it actually kind of made me laugh. Start Blake at the 2 so he can Sit on the perimeter with his knees. Josh at the 3 and Grant at the 4. That's a death lineup if I saw one.
Not a bad idea.
It's not a bad idea, man.
6'10" shooting guard.
I told you, man, you knew Kevin Love, dog.
Oh man, don't do that to me.
Kevin Love is just cashing checks at this point.
No, I'm not talking about like this Kevin Love.
Right.
But you didn't know Kevin Love, bro. When Kevin Love starts shooting 3, that's Blake now.
Yeah. So speaking of Blake Griffin, I don't know if I sent you guys this article, but there's a recent article from AHN Fire Digital. Blake Griffin says making it to the conference final gnaws at him. Now, this was during his Clipper days because I had to do some digging because I was like, I don't remember the Pistons making the conference finals. Right. Maybe I was dreaming. But do you guys believe Blake still has that same mindset of winning, or do you believe that has changed? Drew, I'm going to start with you.
I mean, deep down on the side, every player wants to win, but looking at Blake now, like his second year in Detroit, first under Casey, he wanted to win because he wasn't just shooting threes. He was attacking the basket. And maybe it's just because he's having doubts about his knee. Maybe he is healthy. He's just not like mentally healthy yet about it. Like he doesn't trust it yet or something. Because I haven't seen him attack the basket hardly at all this year. Coming to Detroit right now, it's a restoring, which is just code word for rebuild. What are we going to win? So why would he attack it? I don't know if he really wants to be here anymore. Like he's embracing his role as being a mentor. Mm-hmm. But I mean, you look at all the greats. Like no one talks about Blake Griffin in the league anymore because he never won. You know, like. You have to make the playoffs. You have to go deep in the playoffs. You have to get to the finals at least. Like, he's looking at that. He's like, I don't care. I'm going to go and do stand-up comedy, which I don't care what they do in the offseason, but I'm really starting to think like he's, like, starting to think about life after basketball because, I mean, one more big injury away, he might not be able to come back. So I don't know, like, mentally if he's checked into winning. Like, I know he still wants to win. I just don't know if he's, like, doing everything he can to win, if that makes sense.
No, it makes 100% sense. JMO, what do you think about this quote from Blake Griffin?
Do I think he still wants to win? I definitely think he wants to win. It's just he's on the Pistons. Like, you know, Matthew Stafford wants to win, but he plays for the Lions. Like, you can want to win all you want. That doesn't mean you're going to. Blake definitely wants to win, and he's fitting in as the mentor. But this is all the more reason why. Look, we don't have to question whether he want to win or not. Who cares? Send him alone to a winning team and call it a day, you know, so we can have our young squad. But I definitely think he wants to win. It's just like we can't win. Like, what is he gonna win here? The Clippers cursed him when they sent him here. I don't mean to say it like that, but like y'all really destroyed that man's career sending him here. So to me, this is not even on Blake. What is Blake supposed to do here? Like, what is he supposed to do here when he got traded here? What is he supposed to be able to win with the squads that we done had? And the 1 year that he carried us, you know, he got injured because of it. And now I just think he's protecting himself from injury. And he's like, well, I'm stuck in Detroit. Well, I'm going to just, you know, be the good Samaritan and ball, you know. If I get injured, I'm going to come back. Because, like, it ain't nothing else he can do. Like, he can want to win all he – like, he can want to win more than any player in the league. But he ain't going to be able to do it. Like with this squad, like so it to me like that's my thing. I definitely think he wants to win, but it's more like the situation that he's in. What if you were Blake? You're playing, you're getting paid $35-something million to play for the Pistons. You're stuck here because you know your trade value isn't what it should be.
Again, like you made a good point there. I don't know if he really can embrace his leadership role. You look at his entire career; he's never been the leader. Early on in his career, he had Chauncey and Grant Hill on his team.
I don't know. He's been the leader since he's been here.
Yeah, but I mean, it hasn't translated to really anything. We made the playoffs once. I mean, again, he's been hurt.
I mean, he got hurt.
But I mean,
you can be a great leader and not be like leadership in the. No, I'm saying leadership in the caliber of player though is two different things though. Like you can be a great leader and not be able to lead a team because you're not good enough. I love Blake, but he ain't good enough to be LeBron or some superstar carrying us deep in the playoffs by himself on a trash team. No, he's not.
But being a leader though means you can make your other teammates better. rather if it's on the court or an off the court thing of just encouraging them or whatever. Like I said, Chauncey and Grant Hill went to the Clippers to win a ring again, but then they also mentored Blake. They mentored DeAndre Jordan. You could always see him go, like Grant Hill would go over to Blake, like, hey, man, you should have done this or whatever. Then they had CP3, who was really their leader and made everyone on that team better. Since Blake's come here, he's tried to be a leader, but it's always been Blake ball, Blake ball, Blake ball. Go through Blake. Like, he hasn't made anyone on the team better, which when you trade for a star, stars are supposed to make your teammates better. And quite frankly, I'm not dogging Blake.
I disagree with that, man.
Who has he made better?
He's Blake. Why is it Blake ball? Because he's the only one that can do anything. He's been the best playmaker on the team since he got on the team. He made Andre Blake better, but Andre still was Andre. Dre still had those same games. He done made Luke Kennard better. Everybody played better with Blake. It was Blake ball because we couldn't. It was by necessity. Like, the man's the best playmaker.
Let's go to Luke Kennard real quick. How come when Luke Kennard came off the bench with Derrick Rose, he was going bananas? They put him in the starting lineup with Blake Griffin, and he disappeared.
No, he still was averaging 16 points a game. He didn't disappear.
He was averaging 30 with Derrick Rose for those first 3 games. And then they put him –
He wasn't averaging 30.
He averaged like 60 points in the first 2 games. He went off for like 30 back-to-back games.
Yeah, he did.
And then they put him with Blake.
He still played well with Blake in the lineup. You expect him to do the same stuff with Blake in the lineup?
But he was playing better with Derrick Rose because Derrick Rose
was coming off the bench. That's why.
What is that got to do with the price of tea in China?
Because Derrick Rose and Luke Kennard had better chemistry. That doesn't mean, like, what are you talking about? Like, if he's playing with Blake, he's not going to get the same amount of shots.
Again,
that's why he scores less points.
He made Luke Kennard worse. Like, his efficiency.
No, he did not.
Yes, it did.
No, it didn't.
Numbers don't lie, bro.
You can't blame Blake on Luke. That's on Luke Kennard. You can't blame Blake for that.
Yeah, Blake carried that team, DJ. Blake played amazing that year.
How can you blame Blake for Luke Kennard not playing well when he's in the starting lineup? That's not on Blake.
I would go through the list. Like, Wayne Ellington got better.
Oh yeah, he did.
Blake, they fed off of each other. But again, that was pretty much it.
Andre definitely.
Yeah, but Andre did his own thing. Like, he didn't really have help his whole career here until Blake got here.
Blake got here and definitely helped him out. I'm just saying, like, come on, man. Blake definitely made players better.
We're going down this road.
Reggie
Jackson got worse with Blake Griffin, bro.
Who? Reggie sucked.
Jackson. He sucked, and he got worse with Blake.
No, he just sucked. Blake didn't matter. He was trash when Blake wasn't playing.
Oh,
so what you saying? Did he play better without Blake? He was trash with Blake playing. And without
he was a trash can before Blake, and then he turned into a dumpster with Blake.
No, he was the same player. What do you mean? He was trash when Blake wasn't playing. Because he was hurt too.
You could go back. I hate to do this, but before we got Blake, Andre Drummond and Reggie Jackson were a top 5 duo in the pick and roll. Mm-hmm. Andre Drummond made Reggie Jackson better. Luke Kennard did not like playing with Blake Griffin. Luke Kennard loved playing with Derrick Rose because he went out and run. Luke Kennard would be out in the perimeter just standing there because Blake was in the post. If Luke Kennard really loved playing with Blake Griffin, he would have been doing those dribble handoffs like Wayne Ellington, like Drew mentioned. The only player that Blake Griffin really made better, if you really want to just like go down every player of the roster he's played with, is Wayne Ellington and Andre Drummond to an extent. Now, Andre Drummond, we know what we had there. Wayne Ellington, he had a career year with Blake. I mean, he was just shooting threes. That was like a bulk of our offense during that 2018-19 season. Now, I'm not going to spend too much time on this topic because it's already getting exhausting. But I wanted to get Bravo's thoughts on it because he's just over here eating chilling.
Man. I'm just looking at our roster, bro. Like, who y'all wanted? Like, our roster was hot garbage.
So, bro,
make Galloway better?
No, not really.
Come on, yes, he did.
Galloway's having a better season right now with the Suns than he did with Blake.
Galloway is in a better situation.
Again, though, he played with Derrick Rose.
Galloway got a lot of open shots because of Blake Griffin.
All right, Bravo. What are your thoughts on Blake Griffin's comments about he wants to win?
I don't know about that. It sounds like for me, this is his secondary objective. His main primary objective is staying healthy. And it sounds like for me, he shoots threes. That's what he wants to do. Blake is coming here to shoot threes. He wants to be the new Kevin Love. He wants to protect himself. He wants to adapt to the game in order to protect himself from another injury. I hope so. That's what it sounds like. He doesn't get injured, obviously, but sounds like he's more planning to really protect himself, protect his knees. He doesn't want to get it hard. The winning is a secondary objective. Maybe just make the players look okay. He just wants to keep his career for the next few years. That's what it sounds like.
So I want to give a shout out to my guy, Dominique Davis. You're just speaking facts, man. Stan Van Gundy cursed Blake and the Pistons by bringing him here, making a lot of rebuilding team. Blake is good, but a ball stopper like New York Melo. Yeah, I kind of agree with that to an extent. Melo had a good season when Mike Woodson was there. They made it to the conference finals a long time ago, but
what did they win? 52 games?
Yeah.
Melo's not a playmaker though.
No, see the problem with Blake ball is for it to work, you need a lot of shooters, a lot of perimeter shooters, much like how Giannis has his roster built around him. They surround him with very high perimeter percentage shooters. Now the Pistons, they had that for a while. They had Luke Kennard, they had Svi Mykhailiuk, Reggie Bullock when he was here. He had a really high career year when he was playing with Blake Griffin doing those dribble handoffs. But if you don't have the proper shooters to surround Blake with, he's not going to be effective.
Yeah, but we should never be. We only playing Blake ball because everybody else on the team was garbage. And I just keep revolting back to that point. Blake should never be the best playmaker on your basketball team. But because he is, he has to be point guard and he has to be scorer and he got to be ball dominant. That's not. I'm pretty sure he didn't want to come here and do that. That's why on a better team, he wouldn't have to do that. There wouldn't be no Blake ball there. And that's when the season started off and Jerami Grant was trying to get in rhythm. It looked like the same stuff because you wasn't running it through Killian Hayes. You wanted Blake to do everything. And that's just on the coaching staff. I've always been saying he was only doing that because nobody else could do shit.
Well, he was
didn't
also
have any point guards or any playmakers at all. And he was like our only top tier scorer. Like, that's what's going to happen.
Well, see, my problem, I know we're getting so off topic. My problem with the Blake Griffin trade, when it did happen, is you really didn't have to make that trade. I know Avery Bradley, in his time here in Detroit, Luke Kennard was outperforming him percentage-wise. He just wasn't really performing well, and that's our fault because we put him in a position to fail. We're asking too much of him. You still had Tobias Harris. In my opinion, you had him on a really cheap deal. Now, with Tobias Harris, get the contract that Philly gave him, I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. You had Boban, in my opinion, who was a really good backup center. He was making around $7 million. I don't know if the Pistons keep him. And you trade away a first overall pick, which could have turned into any number of players. I mean, Miles Bridges, Michael Porter Jr., who knows really what you could have had, but it's kind of the Pistons' fault for trying to trade for a star player. Thanks, Tom Gores. But I mean,
thanks, Dan Van Dummy.
I would blame more Gores than Van Gundy because Gores is probably in his office every day saying, "I want a star. I want a star. We can't sell tickets." So he put the trade together.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm blaming that on Van Gundy.
It's probably 60-40 one way or the other.
Van Gundy was the GM, bro. I don't know.
Stan was trying to save his job with that trade, though.
Right. Like, come on.
Tom Gores was probably like, hey, you trade for Blake, you keep your job. And then he pulled the rug out underneath him. Like, you're gone.
It's like, but did you have to give up all that, though? Like, you going to let Jerry West fleece you like that, bro?
Yeah.
Now, look, you can't get that trade in return.
No, I mean, the trade, now that we look back at it, we lost the trade, and the Clippers keep robbing us blind in trades. Like, I don't want to do a deal with the Clippers, like, ever again. We even have, like, Ryan West, who used to work in the Clippers organization, and we still got fleeced somehow. Like, how the hell does that happen? But, I mean, we do have one more topic, as you guys know. We do play the Boston Celtics tomorrow. Do you guys believe that we can beat them again? Bravo, I'm going to start with you.
So initially I thought, like I said, we got a chance to beat them this time, then playing them again in the next month because they're really like not 100%. You see the Boston Celtics, they're not as like last year for sure. They're not ready. but I think they're missing Kemba Walker as part of the main protocol for them. So I think we got a chance to beat them, but do I really think we will beat them? I probably don't think so, because they're gonna come mad at us and they're probably gonna be really like angry. So I know for sure Steven, what's his name? Brad Stevens know how to make an in-game adjustment. Casey is not good at making in-game adjustments, and we probably would lose because of Casey. So it all depends on how really our players also take it. If we really play like with heart and play hard and with energy, we got a chance of beating them again, because they're not really 100% yet. But if we don't, I'm not expecting us to really win, but I won't be surprised again if we win. Probably expecting us to lose.
All right, JMO, I'm going to start with you. Do you think the Pistons can upset the Celtics again for a second time tomorrow night?
No. I'm just straight up saying no. I would love for it to happen, but the Celtics showed in the second half that's the real team they are, and if they play like that for 48 minutes, then we'll end up in a close game. I think the Celtics is going to beat us in a close game. Like I said, I would love for us to beat them again, but I hope I'm wrong, man. I hope I'm completely wrong, and we beat them, but I just don't see it happening.
Drew, do you think we can upset the Celtics tomorrow?
There's a possibility. There are some things from Boston I've seen them against us. I've kind of watched them a little bit all year. They don't look like they're ready to compete yet. Like, they don't look like the Celtics yet. Tatum's been playing nice, and Jaylen Brown's been playing nice, and Marcus Smart always kills us, but they have a problem playing us if they're going to start Tristan Thompson and Thias. They had Thias on Jerami Grant. That's why he was going off. Like, that's a mismatch. And then we got wing players to throw on Tatum and Brown. So, I mean, like, yeah, they're going to get their buckets, but, like, they have to earn them because we're a really good defensive team. We do need to limit I don't know the right way to word it, but when they started getting rolling, we waited way too long to call timeouts.
Yeah.
And that was a problem with me. I'm like, oh, Casey, dude, call timeout. Try to cool him off. And he didn't do it until, like, the lead was cut down to 10. And then they took the lead. Then we called another timeout. I was like, come on, dude, you got to call him out a little bit faster. But I do think there's a possibility. Boston doesn't look ready yet, but they are going to come out pissed off. And I have Jason Tatum popping off. So it's not going to be easy. But there is a shot, but Boston's probably going to win.
Yeah, I don't really know. It depends. If Blake is playing, I think that's a huge factor. I don't know if he passed all his concussion protocols. I'd have to look at the injury report. It'll probably come out in a few hours. But I don't know. Like, if we impact the game like we did in the first quarter, like defensively, I think you have a chance. Because you have to be defensive with Boston, because that ball moves from side to side. If you don't come out with that same aggression, then you probably won't win the game. And we can all agree Boston had a really bad shooting night. I don't know if they're going to shoot that bad. A lot of people were saying that they were hungover. I don't want to give them that excuse. I mean, they're 3-3. Their starting lineup consists of Marcus Smart and Tristan Thompson and Daniel Tice. This isn't 1990. What are you guys doing playing two bigs back to back? I mean, kind of reminds me of the 2014 Pistons with Greg Monroe and Andre Drummond out there together. I mean, like, what are you guys doing? Like, I get you have injuries right now, but man, that's a tough look. I'm hoping we could win just because it's Boston, and they were really upset that we beat them. Like I said, I have a friend of mine
I hate the Boston Celtics more than any other team in the league. So I want to win more than anybody. So
I mean, I had a friend of mine who's a big Celtics fan. We were talking on the phone earlier today, and he was just like, I don't know how the hell you beat us. I was like, you guys played like shit. Simple as that. I mean, we came out more hungry. And your coach thinks that two bigs work in 2021. Doesn't work. But we are going to answer some questions from the viewers, but I will be right back. I have to take a massive piss, so you guys can take over.
I thought you were going to say something else. So why you stepped out, man? Make sure you guys come and like that video, man. We got 74 people watching and only 40 likes. So if you're just coming in, or if you've been here for a minute, hit that like button. Show some love. You guys don't know this, but when you hit the like button, it helps recommend the show to a lot more people. So help spread the show. So definitely do that. Let's see if we got
so I'm guessing that Ryan is saying everybody is healthy because of our injury report.
The last thing I seen, Blake was still in concussion protocol, so I don't know if he's going to be healthy or not.
Yeah, no, Blake is out. I think about everybody else, man. No, my thing is, look, like I want to believe we gonna beat the Celtics, but like if we turn around and get blown out by 30, I'ma just like be like, yo. So I think we're gonna be competitive. To me, if we get a 10-point lead in the first quarter, we'll win. Like we gotta jump out in front. Even if they fight back, it's about the momentum and the how hard it was. Oh man, we had to fight back to get this lead. That's why in the fourth quarter when they got that 4-point lead, they had to try so hard to get it. We just came right back and took the lead away with that hustle on my man Isaiah Stewart. So when I'm looking at it like that, if they can do that again, but who knows if they can do that again? Because I don't think like Tatum and Brown were like 3 of like 20 in the first half or something crazy like that. They were like terrible in the first half. So I don't think that's gonna happen again.
All right, I don't really see too many questions. Brian says that injury report should be out any minute, so I'll probably get my hands on that and tell you. Is there any injuries?
So you guys think we have a better chance beating them with Blake or without Blake?
Without.
Yep. Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, he stops the ball, in my opinion, right now. And that maybe he's just trying to get back into basketball shape.
And I really don't want to see him guard Jason Tatum.
No, that would here's a question, and JMO would love answering this one, so I'll hand it to him.
Yeah, I saw that question, man. Kennard or Josh Jackson, man. I don't know, man. How about that?
What's your heart tell you?
My heart tells me that I don't know.
All right, I'd rather have Josh Jackson over Luke Kennard because he plays both ends. Okay.
My mind's telling me no, but my body. I'll leave it at that.
Like I said, if you guys have any questions that you guys want answered, we'll answer some questions.
Money Bates. What are you talking about?
We'll answer your questions if you guys want. All right. And choose between. Yeah, I would probably do Amani Bates over Jalen Green. I think everyone on the panel would like Amani Bates over Jalen Green.
Oh, why y'all even talking about that? No offense to Jalen Green, he's gonna be special. He's special, but Amani Bates is world transcendent. That dude's different.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of KD in a sense, just, like offensively and just like the way he attacks. Isn't he like 16 or 17 or something like that?
Yeah, they're different era.
He's like, no, he's 16 now.
Yeah.
But he was doing that like 15, so yeah, he's gonna be here in a couple years, man.
I like Blake too.
So if you guys, always had a question. You guys, let's say if the Pistons are drafting right now again, how do you feel about the Pistons drafting another point guard?
Why?
If it's Cade Cunningham,
Cunningham. Let's say one of the best available. How do you feel about picking another point guard?
Yeah, I would take Cade Cunningham. I don't know about Suggs.
Oh yeah.
I would rather take somebody else.
How do you feel about Suggs?
There's some people arguing right now that you could draft Jalen Suggs at 1. And the way he's playing right now, I could understand that. But I think you draft best player available. You can't really go by position. Now, the Cavs have 2 point guards right now, Colin Sexton and Darius Garland. I think it's a backcourt league. Mm-hmm. And the more help you have in the backcourt, the better. Could, a Cade Cunningham or Jalen Sexton.
Yeah.
I got so many names in my head, but could they coexist together? I think they can. I think they could play off ball or vice versa, but that's just like my opinion.
Like the thing with me is like I'm taking Cade because like I think it's different because he's a different type of point guard. Like he's a pass first player, so I feel like him and Killian will be able to play well off of each other just because of the type of player they are. Getting another guy who's actually a point guard but he score first, that's just like Derrick Rose, all over again. So that's why I would rather take Cade or a Mobley or something like that.
Yeah. So we do have a question. I have a question. Brian has mentioned this a lot of times. He wants us to talk about it. So he likes Blake to OKC. What do you guys think we can get in return for him? I'll hand this over to you, Drew.
I know what I
They
want.
have over 1,000 first-round draft picks. I just want one. Just one. Then give me some scrubs to balance out the salary, because I don't expect a whole lot in return for Blake, and that's just being generous. That's like probably the best we will get. I just don't think the market for Blake's high, and the way he's played this year, I don't know how much it will really increase either. But I would definitely press OKC to get one of those first-round picks. Whatever you do, Troy Weaver, listen to me. I know you used to work there. For the love of God, do not give them a first-round pick for anything in return. I cannot stand to watch them get one more first-round pick, let alone from us, which I don't think we would because this draft's really loaded. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, that's all I would want from OKC. Just one first-round pick. That's it. It could be a low one, too. I don't care.
Bravo, what would you want from OKC in a trade with Blake?
You don't get first-round pick from their GM. No way. Yeah, from a first-round pick than Presti. You don't get a first-round pick from Sam Presti by any means. I'm a completely believer in this. So if you want to trade Blake for OKC, you actually have to ship our first-round pick and Blake and get like I don't want to watch what kind of young players you want to get from them. If you want to get a contract salary filler, you want to get Al Horford. He's the only one who can actually match the contract. But I don't want him either because his Blake is expiring next year. So I don't think it's
worse and worse.
Yeah, exactly. So I wouldn't really trade Blake for OKC because I know Sam Presti is going to rip us. He's like the new Boston Celtics team. He's just ripping all these picks, unfortunately, and it just leaves a bad reputation for me. They haven't really got as good as the Celtics, but I think they will be as good as the Celtics in the future.
It's all about who you know in the biz, and Troy knows, and they'll cut Troy a deal.
Yeah, I hope so, because if you're telling me we have to give up a first-round pick just to get off his contract, I will let his contract expire.
Yeah.
But, JMO, what would you want from OKC in exchange for Blake Griffin?
Man, the first thing I thought was Darius Blaisley. That's the first thing I thought.
Yeah,
I want him. I'll be like, look, we get y'all Blake and we get y'all Jerami Grant. I know y'all love Jerami Grant, but if I can get Darius Blaisley, I'm taking him like 100%. I might even. I like Isaiah Roby. Like they got so many players, man. Give me Kobe Jesse. Like give me one of y'all players that y'all like. Like. Give me Diallo, man. Give me somebody. Justin Jackson. Like these is players that I would take. And I know a lot of these guys. Like I want shooters, man. Justin Jackson can shoot, you know. I'll take him. But I mean, like Bravo said, Sam Presti not gonna give us no first, but I want a first. Even if we gotta throw Jerami Grant in the deal or somebody else in the deal. If we like have to give up speed to get a first, I'm doing it. Because they got a lot. I'm talking about a good first. I ain't talking about like no bottom 20 first. You know, I'm talking about like top 15 type of first, something like that. I might consider it. Not just that first. You know, give us a first and throw in Justin Jackson or something. You know, but if I get Darius Blaisley, I'm definitely taking him. He gonna be nice.
Yeah, he's nice. Yeah. So looks like Blake may be playing. Injury report just came out. No Pistons are listed. So
right. Yeah, that's what I said.
The people in the chat and you guys for that. So, and I know people are saying no R. Kelly. I had to pee. I'm not gonna piss on somebody. Okay.
Hey, look, let me say something. Look, I want to say something before the game start, y'all. Can we not blame Blake if we take an L to the Celtics just because he's playing? Because we was gonna take an L regardless if we take an L. Like I'm just saying, because he's playing now, so who knows what's gonna happen.
But Kelly, no. Only time I can only think about that Dave Chappelle skit, man.
Yeah, I know that's the skit I think of.
Y'all tripping, man. You guys like the video, man. It's Free Smoke Saturday, man. We in the building.
So I did see a question. I'm actually looking for it. It was a really good question. I know we could probably. I think Dominique asked it. It was about. I can't even see. It was a while ago, but he was talking about Sekou and Sadiq Bey and, backups. So my question to you guys is, what do you see Sekou getting more minutes Small forward or power forward? Let's start with you, JMO.
You said where?
Where would you like to see Sekou get more minutes at? The small forward or the power forward position?
Small forward, because I feel like what position does Jackson play, dog? Like
he's playing a 2-guard right now.
Okay, so if he's 2-guard, to me, Sadiq is really the only small forward on the team that I really respect. I love speed, but man, like, you know, to me, you play him right behind. If I don't want him playing behind Sadiq, but if I'm saying, you know, Casey does this. This is Casey we're talking about. But I will play him at small forward with like him and Sadiq, and then at power forward, I'm using Jerami Grant, and I'm using him and using Jerami Grant at power forward, his natural position, and then that's what I do. And I would just have Josh Jackson and Tweed running. Josh Jackson and Tweed running the 2, Sekou and Sadiq Bey running the 3, and Jerami Grant running the 4. You know, Blake is back, so you know that's the thing. But like I said, I just want Sekou to be in the top 8 rotation, getting 20-25 minutes a game. Like, is that too much to ask for? Y'all be acting like I be asking for a lot out here. I ain't talking about y'all, but like, is it much to ask for 20 damn minutes a game? Shit.
Yeah, Drew, what do you think about that? What do you think he can get more minutes out of?
Probably power forward. It's really what we've seen Casey play him at, but he is interchangeable. If injury happens at small forward, you throw him there. If you trade Blake Griffin, you're going to play him there. So it's really going to be on who's hurt, who's still on the team. But at this rate, I'll just be happy to see him on the court for any period of time. I don't care. Just put him out there. He's going to do good at either position in time. So I don't really have a preference. Like, I'm not on the small forward bandwagon like JMO is. He can play small forward. He can play power forward. He's not really night and day difference between the two. So just play him. That's all I got.
Bro, what position would you think Sekou could get the most minutes out of?
Yeah, I think we probably agree with Drew. I mean, I'll just be really happy if he gets a minute. I'm worried that he's not getting enough minutes. Yeah. So I do feel like whenever one of those guys, it's a long season, multiple back-to-backs. Whenever players get rested or they have minor injuries, they're probably going to have other players step in. Next man up. We're going to have a lot of them. I'm sure it's a long season. Those guys have been sitting for about a year. This is just like their body's going to break down after 10 games, I'm sure. They're not going to be 100%. So I do see Sekou getting a lot of backup minutes for small forward, power forward. And actually, I do like Jerami Grant more at small forward than power forward, and have Sekou maybe play at power forward, back up to Blake. That's how I think we could do it that way. Sekou is still learning the game. He's just sounds like not a favorite for Casey, and he's not really going to be impacting the game as Jerami Grant, unfortunately. But that's all I can say.
Yeah, I think that, I would agree with Drew's point. I think he's interchangeable small forward or power forward. I think he's more of a natural small forward, but I think he can play power forward too. As for where he can get his minutes, I think small forward is such a logjam because you have so many guys that are ahead of him now. Even Casey said, he's got a lot of guys ahead of him in the rotation. When he was talking about the minutes, he's like, I'm going to give him 10 minutes. I want to see him make the most of those minutes. And if he does well, I'll increase those minutes. But I think he's going to get most of his minutes at power forward because there's not too much competition. I mean, you have Blake Griffin, and that's pretty much it. I don't really know what you would.
No, I'm saying, but who are our small forwards right now? When he was talking about there's a lot of competition, he was talking about in reference to power forward. That's why I think Sadiq Bey might be our only actual small forward. You can throw speed, but speed. I think who's our other small forwards besides Sadiq Bey?
Jerami Grant is our small forward.
Jerami Grant is he's a power forward.
He's playing the small forward.
I'm with Jay on this one. I like Grant better at the 4 than I do the 3.
He's way better at the 4.
He can play the 3 though.
But he definitely can play the 3. Grant is the reverse of Sekou. Grant is a power forward that can play the 3. Sekou is a small forward that can play the 4. But yeah, because Grant can play the 4, it's like Sekou is behind Grant on both spots, which is weird because it's not really because he only played 10 minutes last game. Blake wasn't there. Wasn't he supposed to be backing up Grant?
Yeah. What happened? I don't really know. Bravo, were you gonna say something?
you guys see like Grant is playing a small forward right now? He's all a scoring position. He's a scorer as a small forward. The power forward not gonna score like Grant like that. He's playing like when he plays offense, he's playing small forward. When he plays defense, he's probably switching.
He played power forward last game, didn't he?
Yeah.
No, last game he's played like a small forward. I think he took.
Last game he played power forward. I'm telling you, Jerami Grant is a power forward. He just can score. That didn't change his position.
Yeah. But he's scoring the game a lot. I mean, we playing Bay as a shooting guard, and we giving the ball a lot to Jerami Grant. So I think it's not he's just a forward right now. I don't know if you can call him power or small. Sounds for me more he's taking initiative of becoming more a small forward this year. That's what it sounds for me.
The thing is, though, the league's going toward positionless players.
Yeah.
So, like, Draymond Green would have been a small forward or power forward 10, 15 years ago, can now play the 5. It's a different kind of game. So now you see a lot of these tweeners. So, like, Saddiq Bey is a good example. He can play 2 through 4 and be fine. Josh Jackson, JMO said earlier, what the hell position does he play? We don't know. He's just out there to get buckets. So, I mean, we have a lot of guys on this roster who fit that mold, who – maybe a small forward play power forward or power forward playing shooting guard or whatever the unique case is. That's kind of what you want, though. You want the versatility so that way you can throw different lineups out there. So that way if someone gets hurt, someone's got to take a different role on. So it's what you want with the way the NBA is going with. So
a lot of the power forwards are way more skilled now, too. Like Jason Tatum's a 6'10" power forward.
Yeah.
And before he grew, they still listed him as power forward, which I was surprised by because to me, since his rookie year, he's a small forward, but he's a power forward in this league. Like guys like Giannis.
He was what, 6'8" when he came in?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they put him at power forward.
Yeah, because of Jaylen Brown, they put him at power forward when they had Gordon Hayward. So
but you watch him.
He's right. That's what I'm saying. Now he's a power forward now. Like it's just like that's how the players are. So some power forwards are just as skilled as the small forwards nowadays when it comes to being the best scorers in the league.
Yeah, I mean, Boston's weird because they have 2 small forwards that play positionless basketball. I don't know if Casey's trying to replicate that.
Yeah.
Because you have a guy in Josh Jackson who mostly played small forward and power forward last year. He can play the 2 guard because he's got a really tight handle and he can shoot the ball, but I wouldn't really categorize him as like a starting 2 guard on most lineups. Saddiq Bey last night played small forward. Like Drew said, he can play 2 through 4. He's versatile. Sekou, on the other hand, is kind of like a 3-4. You could play him at small forward. You could play him at power forward, depending on the matchups. I mean, we even saw him play small ball center the other night against the Cavs, and that was like we were like, well, what the hell are you doing? But what's his face fouled out. I don't know really where Sekou is going to get his minutes. Like I said, if he is more consistent, he's going to get more minutes than Saddiq Bey at the end of the day, because I think those 2 are going to be in constant competition with those minutes. I think you saw Saddiq get 30. If Sekou is, averaging like 40% from 3, he's probably starting last night. But like I said, he's struggling, but he's not getting the proper minutes to really showcase what he could do, I guess. That would just be my argument with it. Mm-hmm. And I'm kind of exhausted with this whole topic.
That's twice that's happened now.
Yeah, I mean.
Are we that boring to you?
No, it's just.
I'm just messing with you, bro.
It's not even you guys. It's like I get so many questions about Sekou Doumbouya throughout the week, and I really just don't know what to tell people because I don't know. I'm not a part of the coaching staff. I don't know.
Right.
I don't see what they see.
Man, I had somebody tell me they were just like, man, like I can't think of no solution why he wouldn't be playing other than he just don't like him or Sekou hasn't been good in practice. And then I was like, well, Dwayne Casey just had a quote about Sekou being good in practice, so apparently that can't be the issue. He's like, well, I don't know what to tell you, man. Like he couldn't figure it out himself because he was like, I don't understand what's going on. And I looked at him earlier, like Saddiq is playing like 20 minutes a game, Sekou only 10, so. It's just like, and like Fee is playing, I wonder how many minutes he's playing. He's probably playing like 10 minutes a game. So it's just like, things get crazy.
But that would not make sense though, because Mahabu's been struggling and we have a lot of young guards that.
Nah, Fee is playing 16 minutes a game. So he ain't even playing that. He's playing 16 minutes. So.
Hey, I really hate to say it. I love Sekou. He might be traded. I won't be surprised. I won't be surprised if they trade him for a first round pick or something like that.
When they trade him, I'm gonna be sick.
If they trade him this year or next year, all I'm gonna say is when I go live, the kids better not watch that video.
No, I'm gonna be sick, bro. Y'all ain't seen nothing. I'm like, ooh. And I want y'all Pistons fans, if we trade Safety to come in my chat telling me that he ain't gonna be good on his next team, I'm gonna be cursing y'all out for a half hour. Like, especially if he goes to a team like Miami. I wish
he'll go somewhere weird like Orlando and just blow up.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't. I hope you don't go to Orlando. That'd be terrible. Like, go somewhere good, man. But let's hope he stays a Piston. But Troy Weaver, don't do it, Troy. Don't do it.
Troy.
Troy, you better have no phones. You don't got no phones. I got no phones when it comes to answer Sekou calls. What are you talking about?
So, JMO, I got a question for you. When are you taking Casey's job and Drew getting the assistant coaching job? Wow, man, Drew, you got screwed.
He said,
I'll sit there and drink all the beers. So,
hey, man, when the Pistons decide to hire me, I'll gladly be a part of the organization. You know, until then, we got to pray that Casey produces. That's all I can say.
I will be a Rasheed Wallace type of assistant. You can bet your bottom dollar on that.
Man, Drew, I ain't gonna have you put the bad influence on these guys. Talk about everybody on the Pistons be having Drew Weiser patches on their jersey.
Oh man, we hire King. We're getting Drummond back. Like facts.
Like, I'm gonna tell y'all something right now. I'm not gonna get no Drummond back. I'm not gonna get Luke Kennard back. I'm not going backwards. That's one thing I'm not doing. I'm just going forwards. I'm going forwards with the guys that we have. Like, and then I'm gonna just draft.
I'm not here to defend himself. You guys are throwing shots.
I'm not.
I love King. Shout out to him.
He's awesome. He's cool.
I know he's a big Drummond fan. I mean, I love Drummond.
But he would go get Drummond. So like I believe that.
I know. I'm not trying to throw shade. I just know how much he loves Drummond.
You know, that's my brother, man. Shout out to him. He knows.
I know. He took him in fantasy. I mean, we weren't really surprised there.
I'm pretty sure I'm open on.
Hey, fuck, man, you need to my trade though.
I'm not taking Devontae Graham for Lonzo Ball. That's
who else you want, dog? I know somebody else in, bro. But like, I need Lonzo. I need Lonzo, bro. Give me the trade, man. Stop playing with me.
No, I'm gonna keep him all year long. And
all year long?
Yeah.
You're not gonna trade me Zoe, bro? Come on, dog. No. I can't get Zoe.
No,
come on, I can't get Zoe. That's why you hit a mid range. Why I said that. I can't get Zoe, bro. Come on,
dog. You know what you should do? After the league's over, cut him the next day when there's no game.
Come on, man.
Like, I'm serious. When the league's over.
Point guard Pistons start. I only got Westbrook. I need a point guard, man. Help me out. Like, Devontae Graham ain't gonna cut it.
There should be some point guards on the wire, but I'm not really sure.
No good one. They ain't Lonzo.
Oh, like, wow.
What?
Drummond got benched tonight. JaVale McGee and Thon Maker are playing ahead of him.
Wow.
Hey, JaVale had some like crazy stat line in 7 minutes. Yeah, like
what did Dre do? Was that for the alley-oop pass you threw the other night?
Maybe he showed up late to practice. Who knows? But
that is a Dre thing to do. That happened a couple times here. We're all like, "What the hell happened to Andre? Why is he not starting?"
Yeah.
Like, oh, he's late.
I got a question for the entire panel. And make sure you guys like that video. Is Denver struggling because Jerami Grant not there?
Yeah, I believe it.
This is unbelievable right now.
Bravo, I know you said no. Go back and watch the bubble. Every time they went down 3-1, Murray and the Joker had big games, but they didn't play good the whole entire game. When Grant got those 15 points or whatever, 12 points, it was in a run to get him back in. Like, they counted on him to be there. And don't forget, he is a good defender. Denver was top 5 team in defense, top 10, somewhere around the ballpark last year. I can't remember. And that was because of him. Like, he can switch. He's a very, very good defender on the perimeter. And he even got a couple blocks last year, like really good blocks. But those stretches where Murray and Joker were either on the bench or were cold, Grant was the guy that held them together. Like, he was a big, big part of the team. There's a reason Denver matched our offer. He said, no, I want to go.
Wait, is Paul Millsap not on the team anymore, too?
No, he is.
He's just
well, yeah, it's definitely Jerami Grant then.
No, I thought I misunderstood the question. I thought you were talking about Denver are struggling big time, not because of Jerami Grant. I thought
I'm saying like because they all got Jerami Grant.
Yeah, they're struggling this time big time because they're also like in the West. West is hard. Like Phoenix on fire right now. 6-1 or 5-1.
Well, yeah, they're the Suns. They should be on fire.
I was about to say, we expected this though. You know how much I love Devin Booker. Don't get me started.
Where's Devin 99 now? We're talking about his team.
I remember I told him in the summer, I said, watch CP go to Phoenix. Devin did not want to hear any parts of that. I wouldn't be surprised, man. Had his former coach there. I'm happy for Phoenix, man. Like that's a team that I low key have been rooting for because they had the talent there. Like they have Ayton, they have Booker, who's from Michigan. So I always, support Michigan guys, but I'm happy for them.
I'm a huge D-Book guy.
Yeah, I'm happy for him. We did have so apparently Andre got a technical foul. He was probably tripping with the ref. That's one thing I like about Stewart.
Wait, he got a tech before the game?
He got a technical foul. That's why he's sitting on the bench.
Right.
That's the one thing I like about Stewart is like the one thing that used to drive me crazy, and this is really off topic about Andre Drummond, is he would let the referees dictate how he played. Like if he wasn't getting foul calls, he would just be complaining. Like you never even saw that with Christian Wood or Isaiah Stewart so far. Right. He just plays. He doesn't care. Like you shouldn't let a referee dictate the way you play the basketball game. But just getting some, I guess, I don't want to call it Drummond shade, but that's just like what I saw over the past 7-8 years.
You getting some chest hair off your chest?
Yeah.
I'll be here all night.
Oh, man. It doesn't look like we have
Well, how do you guys like the new John Wall on the team? That's a different topic.
He's looking good with that. Like, it's funny, man. Like, somebody told me, like, they really believe in the Rockets, and I'm like, if you look at their roster, I didn't know they had Harrison Barnes on their roster. But, I mean, they look all right, man. They look like a solid team right now. And John Wall looks good fitting in.
So we do got a question for you, JMO. If you could get Booker, what would you be willing to trade?
Hey. Y'all know I like what I'm about to say. But I'm not giving up Sekou. Everybody else on the table. Like, y'all don't hate me. But that's the way I feel. And I might hope we say maybe no Sadiq Bey, but if they give us Sadiq Bey, then he's gone. But
I would trade Sekou.
Yeah. I wouldn't, bro.
We got Nomis tried to join, but his internet connection was really bad.
He said I'm out of pocket. Trade the team for Booker.
The only person on the team that's untouchable is Bumley. You can stay. That's it.
Really, nobody's untouchable for a guy like Devin Booker. We know that.
Yeah.
Come on.
And shout out to Betty Mack. He said we should have had Booker over Stanley Johnson, man.
They don't.
I wanted Booker a lot. I was really high on him during that draft, but it is what it is, I guess. It's out of the past.
Ooh.
Pain. So much pain.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about this question? Jerami Grant is going to be all-star this year, and Jerami Grant is one of the best tradable assets we have, and he can be traded to any contender anytime.
We got to have a better record for him to be an all-star.
Who asked that question, Evan?
No, I'm just asking.
That's not a foul. Come on, who asked that question? No, look, I think if Jerami Grant's the most improved player, he's gonna make it. No matter how bad we are, he'll make the All-Star.
Nomis, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on, fellas? What's on y'all doing?
Talking
fellas,
No.
Happy New Year to everybody.
Happy New Year, my brother, man. Happy New Year to everybody else in the chat too.
Yeah, Happy New Year, chat. What y'all got going on over here?
Talking some Pistons. Talking some Stanley Johnson. That's how the press in the chat's getting.
Yeah, we brought up Devin Booker. Whenever he come up, two things gonna come up: Michigan and Stanley Johnson. So. Yeah, man. But no, keep Sekou, keep Bey, Stewart, Johnson, and Grant, man. Come on, dog. Like Devin Booker, that's a package, man. I believe in him. Like I've been believing in him since day one, man. I truly believe in him. So I've been saying he's gonna be this and he's gonna be that for a long time. So it's finally great that he gonna be on the big stage and beware of Devin Booker in the playoffs. Somebody gonna get sauced.
Yeah.
Hey, Bravo, we got a question for you. I got to show Ben love. Ben, like, I'd love to get Ben on here. He's so damn funny.
Yes.
This is a question for you, Bravo.
Yeah, exactly. I like these ones.
Oh,
man, it's so comfy, man. Get one of them at home.
Somebody say, if we get K, what we doing with Killian? You starting them together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You starting them together. If worst come to worst, Killian to be his backup. Hey, what it is, they playing together. So you work with it. Like you find a way.
It's
I
not.
would put them in the backcourt together because of how they both play.
Right.
And K is so tall that you can positionless play him sometimes and still have a point guard. And he's such a good scorer that he could really just be a scorer if he wanted to. So he has K that's so much better. Like, yeah, I think people say he Ben Simmons with like you if you combine Ben Simmons with like Melo, that's Cade.
Well, shoot three.
How tall is Cade?
He's like 6'8", 6'8", bro. Like that boy special, dog.
Dude,
so,
just imagining that backcourt, Melo, like, cool.
That's a tall ass backcourt.
That is.
And they probably gonna be a very good defensive backcourt too. So.
Like
people are gonna be like, why would you start 2 point guards? So the league's changed. Like you can do it. Like it works. Like it's not like you have 2 centers. Like this is not gonna be Greg Monroe and like Andre Drummond, like we talked about earlier. Like that, the 2 point guards will work in today's NBA and be really effective. Like look at Cleveland right now, man. Like that's a really good backcourt right now. Like I love that backcourt.
Yeah, they can't play no defense though.
Only thing is there's not much defense.
Yeah, dude, I don't know what weed you're smoking, but I don't look like Blake Griffin. I do not look like Blake.
If you close your eyes and imagine Blake Griffin, you kind of do.
Yeah, he probably be smoking on that high grade medical stuff I be smoking on. Talking about that.
So one thing I do like to just comment. I do like the background of this StreamYard. It really this is like an LCA.
Yeah,
it's really nice. I like it.
Did you know, Bravo, that's LCA before COVID? Like that was actually like when fans were allowed.
No.
Yeah, we won winning shit.
I am disappointed they haven't done cutouts of fans. That's kind of like a slap in the face.
You know, what's weird?
They do got some fans in there, don't they?
They have fans, but they're like
media people in there.
I wouldn't even call it media. It's like A-list celebrity. I wouldn't even say A-list. Maybe like D-list celebrities that have a lot of followers on Instagram. Like some chick that I've never even heard of had like over 100,000 followers. And I was just like, man, Pistons are doing anything for some clout these days. I'm like, if I see LeVar Ball there, then I know that they're just doing it for the clout, like straight up.
Mm-hmm.
They probably let that one porn star.
Best way to get clout. Way to get clout is to get a coach to go produce some wins.
Sakers is trying to have some fun with the Instagram girls, dude. That's how he's gonna get more minutes.
That's right. Like every time Bravo bring up, like, bro, I'm telling you, Sekou did something to Casey. Like it had to be like I don't know what he did, man, but Casey ain't let it go.
You know, maybe Dwayne Casey was really a high in Tristan Thompson. Once Sekou dunked on him, he was like, all right, we gotta shut it down.
What's going on?
Or maybe he didn't like the fact that he dropped 24 on Boston.
He said, "Just get Popovich and we in the playoffs." Of course, we get Popovich, man.
Oh man,
we get Popovich. We'll be a super team.
Give me Becky, dude. I'll take Becky over Dwayne Casey.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I don't know about all that.
She can't do much worse, bro. We'll make history. Everyone will want to watch the Pistons.
I'm trying to, have a good team,
The girls like Phoenix, man. I'm telling you.
I gotta upgrade the coach. I can't take another project coach. I said the same thing about Chauncey, man. Like I can't take another project coach.
I don't know. Gorse probably won't fire him, or because he doesn't really pay much attention to the Pistons.
Well, he's only got what after this year? 1 more year left.
2 more. This is his 3rd year. Ben, I hope not. I really hope not. KC has daydreams of bringing back Thon Maker.
Thin Mister.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I would say Kenny Atkinson, honestly. I feel like that's kind of a pipe dream, though.
That's gonna be messed up. Becky go to a team and actually start winning under her. I know it's gonna be messed up.
I'll take someone new. Actually, I'm tired of all these coaches. Give me someone new.
Mark Jackson in a heartbeat. Thank you.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
get our team right.
Especially considering we already got a heck of a young core. That man, it was so.
He would make Killian so good.
That's the first thing I thought in my mind. He would tell Killian, like, bro, like, what are you doing out here, man? Stop shooting that ball. Go straight to the rack. They can't handle you. 215, man. Like he would be just telling him that old school, bro. Go to the rack, and he would set plays for Killian to get him going too. See,
you know what he would probably tell Killian? No disrespect, just hit it out of the park.
No, fact, bro. You gonna be telling him all that stuff, bro. It'll work, man.
Oh man,
Juwan Howard looked like a
he ain't going nowhere, man.
Nah, I want to stay in the Michigan.
Oh, blue.
He's got a job for life right now, bro. He's leaving it.
Boy, all I know is the Michigan State fans was talking greasy about us going to overtime with Oakland. Y'all ain't been talking since. But it's all good. It's all good.
Man, how many Saturdays have I missed? It's been so long.
I think the last
man, they playing all the time. They playing like 2 times a week most of the time.
You'll like the elevating coaches in the front office, huh? You'll understand that Mark Jackson was having tons of problems with the Golden State organization. Well, that was on the organization, Mr.
Yeah, I can care less. And I know all of those, the reasons why, and I can really care less. So, I don't care nothing about that.
Yeah, I was in my basement yesterday washing some clothes, and every time Sadiq Bey kept shooting the 3 yesterday, I kept hitting the top of the damn washing machine like, damn, that's what I'm talking about. He was just wet every time he shot the motherfucker. I'm like, bruh, this dude is relentless right now. And like, he took him out. I was like, please bring him back in right now. If you're not going to get taken no minutes, please bring Sadiq back in. Please. Why are you? Come on, man. Bring him back in. Let him shoot.
I'm excited to see what he do against Boston now that they got a scouting report on him.
That is $1 million question. I have no idea. I feel like he could have got a head coaching job again. Like, why are you second fiddling to Steve Nash over there? I really don't get that.
Because he probably playing a lone game. He doing that Jason Kidd, what's his name, Frank Vogel stuff.
I know people don't like Jason Kidd,
defense.
but I would consider bringing him in, honestly. I mean, like what he did for Giannis.
Hell yeah, for Seiko. And for Killian, yes.
You talking about Jason Kidd or?
Yeah, Jason Kidd. I know he's
we were talking about D'Antoni. I was like, oh hell no.
Yeah, I thought I was talking about D'Antoni.
D'Antoni would have us shooting 53s a night.
we would trade Stewart. Hey, we'd get rid of Plumlee. There's a plus.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like there's coaches.
You get my hopes up like that, Drew.
No, I'd take Jason Kidd on a heartbeat. I'm a huge Jason Kidd fan.
Give me something to drink real quick.
One of them Drew Watchers, man.
Well, that's not Giannis.
Kidd is the reason that Giannis can't shoot now, but I don't think Kidd would try to change Seiko's jump shot because it's already good. Well, I don't know why he even tried to change on jump shot, to be honest with you.
I don't know.
It was solid.
I mean,
his jump shot was solid. Yeah. He looked more similar to Seiko's, so I don't know why they did that.
That's just the mental aspect with him because his shot doesn't look completely broken.
No, it's not. No, he could still be a good shooter if he really worked on it, but like his shot was just better, and it was natural. When stuff like that get changed, it's just like, man, it's gonna take a while for that broke shot to get fixed once in there.
When you change it like that, like Giannis never really had a great shot, but when they changed the mechanics of it, like he's thinking too much. He's like, all right, are my feet lined up? Is my elbow bent right? Are my shoulders square? Like he's thinking too much when he shoots. That's why it's like slow. It's weird looking. He's thinking too much. You just gotta let it rip.
Do you guys think Trae Young is in the early MVP candidate so far?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Who do they have right now? But he would be up there.
He's number one in fantasy in my other league. They got him ranked number one.
He's scoring like 36, 37 points per game. Yeah. He's in there.
I'm waiting for someone to pop him in the head.
He didn't score 36 against. But, I don't want to talk about it.
True.
He ain't dropped 37, 38, 40 on him. That's all I know. But, he scored most of his points from the free throw line on ticky-tack calls. That's all I know.
I'm so sick of hearing that Killian's a bust. Like, y'all not seeing the level of defense he already playing? Like, come on, bro. Like, really?
Fans watch the box score and not the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
These same fans were calling Josh Jackson a bust after his first 3 years. So, come on. And I know y'all were calling him a bust. So, these are the same fans. These are the same fans, man.
Yeah, easy. Hop on if you want to come on. Everyone's welcome.
Wow, let's go.
We're just chilling, man.
We're watching the Pelican game in the background, y'all. So
yeah, I don't got shit to do. Like, honestly.
How am I hating, bro? What are you talking about?
Bust is a strong word. Yeah, I would agree with that. It's 5 games.
He's 19. How can he be a bust? You haven't given him a chance to even learn this year to grow. Like year 3, year 4. That's when you start throwing around that word.
Yeah.
They want people to be 30-point gamers when they first come out and shit.
The same people who are calling him a bust are hurt by Stanley Johnson because they were so high on Stanley Johnson. Like, this guy just needs more time, and he never developed. And they're like, yeah, Killian's a bust. Like, that's the same people. Like, they've been hurt. I understand. They need help.
If Stanley didn't say Detroit first everybody when he got drafted, I think Detroit fans wouldn't care. But if he said that, it just that got fans so hyped, man. Like, they're like,
they were going to run through LeBron. Like, in the playoffs, like, everyone's like, all right, here we go.
They were just waiting to run through a wall for that guy, but it just never popped off. But I blame it on coaching at the end of the day.
Yeah. It's just miserable, man. Stanley was disappointing completely.
I don't blame it on coaching. I blame it on Stanley at the end of the day because off season, like, that's your time to work. How many times, like, I wish I would have been a little bit more like popular on YouTube. I would have gone online and did a shot for every time Stanley was in the corner and either traveled, stepped out of bounds, or double dribbled. Like, I'd still be drunk right now. Like, he just never learned how not to travel in the corner. Like, everywhere else, he was okay. He could dribble out there, but that corner spot goofed up.
But see, my thing is, too, though, I feel like, man, it's like, okay, you know how we say with Sekou, put the ball in his hand, let him make some plays. I feel like you do that with a young player. I don't care whether he's a small forward or shooting guard or a point guard. You give him a chance to get the ball, man. Like, you see right now, even with Stewart, he's not really a scorer. You get him the basketball, you let him help out, and he's getting rebounds in 8 minutes with a few points. It's like you got to get players get involved. You can't sit there and force Stanley Johnson to be a jump shooter off of it and then make him try to grow from that. And then when he messes up, you take him out the game. That's the type of stuff I was saying that Stan Van Gundy was doing to him and Luke Kennard. Like, you can't destroy these guys and then give them crap plays to work with and then think they're going to get better. You have to let them play. Like, anytime I noticed he took the leash off, Stanley was a whole different player. When leash on, it was like he had a better chokehold. And that's why I still got my eye on him right now. What he's doing over there with the Pelicans. I know it's coming. It's early. You gotta watch it. It's early. I want to see what he gonna do when this get a little later in the season. I know he gonna screw one of those young guys up. I'm just waiting on him.
I think he would have been a good point guard. He had a lot of good games when they let him be a point guard. He attacked, but then they just stopped. They're like, all right, Stanley, go stand in the corner, do your thing. I don't know.
Let him attack the rim or something.
He was fun in transition. You watch it. He's still doing the same thing he's doing in Toronto. I had to look at Toronto's roster. They have Henry Ellenson and Stanley Johnson on their roster right now, which I was like, wow, I forgot about Henry Ellenson for a minute. There's another guy we didn't use, like, at all. He just had the Kyrie Thomas treatment. It's going to be Kyra Lewis that SPG coaches up. Man, I'll let JMO answer that. I know he's a big Pelicans fan.
I think he said he'll be RB.
Yeah, I saw that. I'll just leave it up there for him to answer.
Lewis, though, that's an SVG guy.
Yeah.
He really liked Brandon Jennings. I like Brandon Jennings too. I compared Lewis to Brandon Jennings. Yeah, I actually think that SVG will like Lewis. So I don't know if he's gonna develop him the right way because I didn't really see Stan develop anybody here. So
right,
I don't know.
He can't even barely get the veterans right. Like that's all I understand, man. Like his pick and roll is only meant to be a 50-50 thing the way he coaches. So it's like you're gonna win 50% of the time. It's not even about the playoffs. It's just about you being able to make plays. It's only gonna work 50% of the time. It's never any, advantages in playing on the Stan Van Gundy. It's like if you want to get development, that's not the place to go. He's just a guy that literally brings you in, and then there you are. You'll 9 times out of 10 go elsewhere and play a way a lot better, like than the way they were using you here.
Right.
Most only development you'll see is if he decides to go like 3 games straight without screaming all the way from the other end of the court, play defense. Like that's the only level of development you'll get. Like that's it.
I really want to see SVG build a wall in New Orleans with Zion. That's going to be a big ass wall, man.
It's gonna be like Isaiah and Chuck Daly. It'll say worse.
I'll give him a pass because Detroit, we didn't really, I don't know, they gave him too much power. If he was just a coach, that was fine. I think making him a GM on top of it, it just wasn't a good look.
It never works ever.
Yeah.
Like
Pop is the only one that it works for. I mean, he does that, but I mean,
because he knows how to do it.
Yeah.
Now, the problem with it is when you give a coach that much power, they're all in on this year. So he's like, I need to make a trade right now so that way we have a shot to make the playoffs or get better in the playoffs. Where a GM looks at it as like, how can I be better from 5 years from now? Like, what players do I need to watch in the draft? How can I acquire that player? They probably should have took his power out of the front office the year before they fired him to try that. Because that's what the Clippers did with Doc Rivers. Because Doc Rivers, when he had Blake and CP3 and DJ, he was the president of operations and he was the coach, and it was too much for him. He couldn't focus right, and they got rid of him in the front office and kept him as coach, and they got better. So we probably should have tried that before we fired him.
Well, I'd say this much: the only thing that like came kind of close, like one thing that tipped me off when it involves like the trade stuff. When it comes down to it, when anytime there was a rumor that would come out that we thought somebody was going to get traded, he would shut it down and not let it linger too much. I did used to like that about him. But the problem is when he did make one particular trade, I always said I hated that Marcus Morris trade no matter what, because when you think about the situation, we gave up a 2nd-round pick. And you traded him to Boston for Avery Bradley, who's on a 1-year deal, who had 1 year left on his contract and was expecting more money. The problem I had with that trade is you needed your wings. It was kind of part of the reason why we end up without no small forwards like a year or so after he made that trade, basically when Blake is around. It's when Dwayne Casey is here. That's the reason why we didn't have any small forwards. And we were just so over-depth at guards. Like you had Avery Bradley for no reason. Like no way in hell we should have been giving up a draft pick. That's like if you're giving the player on his last year deal expecting money, you're supposed to throw us a draft pick. And that's why you'll never make trades with Boston. You made a trade with the one team you should not have made a trade with for a player they didn't even want anymore. And you gave up. And to me, it was really because, like with how we say with Matt Patricia, like how he traded Quandre Diggs, it was the same type of thing. Because Marcus Morris, remember, if y'all remember correctly, he called a team meeting amongst the players because they were like losses. And he wanted to like see what was wrong with the players. He called a team meeting. And they feel like because he stood against Stan Van Gundy, his philosophy, I feel like Stan Van Gundy opted to trade him. I feel like that was so bold. That was the last person I wanted to see traded at that time.
Well, it was a KCP thing too. We didn't have a 2-guard, and KCP was pulling the "I want 18 million" bullshit, and then that's why we traded for Bradley at the time. But I mean, I can understand where you're coming from with the Morris trade. It was kind of like it was a head scratcher.
Right, because if you leave things the way they were, but see, Stan Van Gundy's not good with rookies. So it's like, arguably, all you had to do was go draft Mitchell or Kennard, like as you did. You shouldn't have had to do that. Like, I don't get. And then the reason you wanted Avery Bradley, I barely even noticed it. Like, it wasn't even all that worth it. Like, I wanted all this. this
Man, can we not talk about Avery Bradley and Marcus Morris, dog?
That's
Like,
really
nobody care about them all bum Stan Van Gundy team that he destroyed. They destroyed. Troy Weaver got rid of all of them. We got the new guys now. It's just like, listening to that jug is just depressing. Like, I see some people in the sense that Stan Johnson going off against Stan Van Gundy. No, he not. He ain't doing that. Stop it. Come on, man. He a scrub, dog.
Yeah,
They destroyed him though. I won't blame it. I won't blame it all on him. But come on, man. We Stanley's gone.
Oh, Dapper, bro. You're not gonna get a reaction out of him. I don't think he's feeling it.
He's watching the game. He hasn't seen it yet.
JMO?
He's not looking at me.
What do you want me to say? Stanley is trash. Like, he can't compare to Luke Kennard.
I know Devin's trolling. Oh, man. I don't know how we...
Right now.
You know who's better than them? Henry Ellison.
All right, see, now y'all not about to... We need to be wondering where Savitas is at.
All right, honest to God question here.
All right.
Who's better, Henry Ellison or Darko?
Henry Ellison.
Darko. I think Darko. The worst guy I've ever seen in my life is Henry Ellison.
Yeah, whatever. That's my answer to that question.
Don't forget about Kyle Zingler.
Ball at the last
Bro, Kyle Slingler, I hate him so much because I thought he was gonna be so good because I watched him in college. I thought he was gonna be good. I'm like, all right, Kyle. Like, I wasn't high, but I'm like, okay, we got Kyle Slingler. He was a baller. Bro.
Yeah, I kind of like.
He can hit shots over double story buses.
He was supposed to be at least be Luke Kennard, but he was terrible, dog. Kyle Slingler was like, he was supposed to be Luke Kennard, dog. And he was just nowhere close. Like, he was so cold in college, I swear. Blake Griffin for Lonzo, hell yeah.
Is he still in the league or is he out of the league?
He's out of the league.
He's out of the league. He was in the league like a couple years ago.
I would love to see that.
Yeah, come on.
I remember Ersan.
I liked Ersan when he was on our team, bro.
Yeah,
Ersan was straight. We should have never traded him. I don't know why we got rid of him.
Blake for Zaza. Oh, man.
Killian would get some good screens.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would, though.
Zaza was a wall, man. Like, he was so bad on the Pistons, but he was just a straight up wall for like picks.
Bro, I don't even want to go back in that time to watch Zaza highlights for the Pistons, bro. Like,
y'all remember when he clamped Embiid?
That one little whack double between the legs.
What did he do to Embiid?
Do you remember when Blake went off for 50 and I think JJ Redick hit like a crazy three, and Zaza's going up against Joel Embiid, and Zaza just strips him like he's Kawhi Leonard, and he like goes all the way down and makes a basket.
And then all the way down and does a little layup, dog. Hey, when he did that, I was clowning, low key. I was clowning Embiid, bro. I'm like, oh, you a scrub. Then I'm like, and when he was drunk, I'm like, let's go, Zaza. He's screwed. I'm like, yeah.
On that last shot,
I remember that. I remember that.
Wrap him up too. I ain't gonna lie.
My favorite Zaza Detroit Pistons moment is when he retired and got hired in at Golden State for like, I don't know what he was doing there. And then we were playing in Golden State, and he came on with George and Greg. And they talked about him like he was Pistons royalty, bro. They're like, "Oh man, you were such a great player. We miss you. We want to retire your jersey, bro. Can we get you a glass of water?" I'm like, "Dude, calm down, it's Zaza." He was here for 82 games.
I understand the situation over Zaza, man. It's like everything he did. That, like I said, that whack dribble he used to do with the between the last pass. I'm like, this dude look like he in the '80s playing, bro. What is this? What is this? How his jersey? I said, he do not need to be on the Pistons. Like, everything he did, they just scream. They doing the same thing with Plumlee, too, the same way. Like, did you hear Kelser yesterday? Oh, Plumlee is just, he just works so hard.
Yeah. Kelser was going in on Plumlee.
Like, y'all love our Kelser. I don't, bro. Like, Kelser, ugh.
Like, shut up, man.
Like Chelsea is just like why do I want to hear about the Warriors from the 70s and who was on their team? Like, I don't give a damn about Rick Barry and whoever else he named. Like, I'm like, do I care? Like,
And then he always why do both of them always find reason to bring up Rick Mahorn on every little situation they can? Like I know
probably because they work with them.
Brandon Knight got hurt in the game or something like that. He bumped into one of the other teammates. Who does that remind you of, George? That's Rick Mahorn and you.
They'll be talking about a random player that played in like the 60s or 70s. You're like, who the hell is this guy? So you Google it, and it's like some guy who played high school basketball in Texas. We're like, how the hell were we supposed to know who that guy? Like, he never even played in college. How the hell do you guys know?
You know what I did?
Like back in those days or something, and they just want to go back. Like, dude, y'all have to move on. Oh my God.
What I did was I didn't know a player, so I asked PD. I said, "Who the hell is that?" And he was like, "Bro, you don't even know." He was like a multiple-time All-Star. Like, I already know it. This guy has to be old if you know about him, man. Like straight up. I know PD.
He know everybody.
I know. I was just like, I know if you're talking about him, he has to be an older player.
Hey, PD probably
back in the 1920s, before they called it hockey. This guy was a legend. I was like, how do you know? Where did you learn that? He's got guys. Seriously though, in the chat. All jokes aside, go subscribe to PD Sports, man.
Yeah,
you know he's got different content. You're going to learn about a lot of players you didn't even know existed, and you'll be like, this guy should be a top 10 player of all time. That's the way he talks about it. So go check out PD, man.
Yeah, check out PD, man. If George Bly and Greg work for the Lions, I swear he'll be good. Jim Caldwell was a DB. I swear.
The funniest thing is when we did that, and we were taking like all current players from like the last 30 years, and PD would say someone, we're like, who the hell is that?
We did that for the Red Wings when Jim decided not to do Red Wing shows anymore because Jim didn't like doing that, and we did it. And bro, PD was just like in his bag, just like picking all these guys I've never even heard of. I was like, man. But yeah, I'll leave a link to his channel if you guys want to check it out in the description after this video is over. But shout out to PD. Drew Gooden. Now, I don't know if you guys know, but Drew Gooden does broadcasting for the Wizards, and he's god awful. He is god awful, man. Terrible. He talks about Isaac Bonga like he's Kevin Durant.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know what he's like. I saw him like he was post game. He was talking some about our team versus the Wizards. What the hell? Are you serious, dude?
Nah, hey, he likes Sekou though. I like what he was saying about Sekou.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
And like he was talking about Killian, like Killian has a confident shot. He was like, I haven't seen it go in, but he's very confident. I'm like, hey, he be shooting it like he gonna make it.
I never in a million years thought we were talking about Drew Gooden on above the rim.
No, because he was talking about his vision and stuff. But like low key, I didn't even know that was Drew Gooden until halfway through the box. I'm like, who is this dude? Is this like one of the regular dudes and like another regular dude? I'm like,
you know, a guy I haven't heard in a minute is Perkins. Is Perkins still on TV?
Yeah.
No, Big Perk always talking shit.
I haven't heard a bad take from him in a minute. Has he just been chilling?
He been on point. Been on point.
Man. I just want to say one thing about Killian Hayes real quick.
Go for it.
Man, I'm telling you right now, I'm so happy to have this kid. Even in the game where he didn't score any points, like this dude just found a way to amaze me. Like just with his passing, I just love seeing a point guard that can pass the ball, man. Y'all just don't know the fact that you make a bum look like a star off of alley-oop. It's just that's what I've been yearning for years, man. Oh my goodness, just watching him play, like it didn't even feel like he didn't score. It just like I can't wait to see how good he's gonna be, man. Y'all just don't know, bro. Like y'all just.
No, I'm right. I'm right there with you, dog. I can't get that no look pass to Josh Jackson. He threw the game before he got hurt.
He's got vision, as for damn sure. T-Mac Carey, man, this is a depressing topic. Tyronn Lue and Drew Gooden to the playoffs. That's the GOAT discussion right there.
You know what? It's official. I'm watching T-Mac Detroit Pistons highlights tonight. How about that?
Oh man.
Okay, I'm getting another known Delo.
I was like, what's that?
Yeah, he's played 55 playoff games because he's been riding LeBron and T-Mac's coattails.
I'm about to say, man, that man playing with LeBron. If you don't stop, man, I could have, man, I would have played 55 playoff games. I was on the roster playing with LeBron. What you mean? What you mean, man? Come on.
You're preaching, Barry.
What's Luke Kennard doing down there in LA? I haven't really checked up on him.
7.5 points, I think.
Damn.
Yeah, I think more and more fans are starting to realize that Casey may not be the right fit. I see a lot of people in my comments on Twitter that were all aboard the Casey train now, like questioning their own beliefs about if they think Dwayne Casey's even a good coach, let alone if he can coach. So it's just like it's kind of crazy how fast people have turned on him because he's not playing everyone like he should be.
It's kind of started with me because I was kind of for Casey, and then I started going like, man, what is this guy doing?
Started with JMO. JMO didn't like Casey from day one.
I know he never liked Casey like that. But I'm talking about. Remember, I was like a supporter. I was like, okay, Casey, go get it right. Don't worry about it. Then
you were when we were all bad mouthing when he did something stupid. You're like, oh, it's just one game. He'll correct it. I remember that.
Man. My thing was I was never against Casey. I'm just different from y'all. I hold people to a higher standard. I don't give a damn what you did where else. What are you doing for my team? Right. And he's hadn't been performing. I don't want no excuses. I don't want no injuries. I don't give a damn. And that's the only reason with me. Like I have a higher expectation for Casey. I keep saying that he was brought here to take our playoff team to the next level, not to start a rebuilding phase. But now we're rebuilding because they failed. Whatever you want to blame it on, it is what it is. But like that's my only reason. That I just have a higher standard for Casey than the rest of y'all. I want to win games. Like
I think I cracked the code. I just put two and two together. When he coached at Dallas, it was just like goes to Toronto, starts killing it, right? Starts slowly getting better and better, becoming one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference. Wins coach of the year, gets fired, comes here, and it's just been kind of like, I think it's the metric system. I don't think he knows how to do conversions over here. He may think that 10 minutes per second in Boya is actually like 25. I think that's the problem.
Oh, Canadian jokes. I love it.
I feel like there's another reason. It's because in Toronto, he got Nick Nurse. Nick Nurse is proving it right now. With a bad team, Nick Nurse is really a good coach. He's proven it. And I think part of the reason why we suck, I come back again and say, we don't have a good assistant coach. Sean Sweeney is shit. He's not the right.
The assistant coaches matter.
We need a good assistant coach on this team.
Mm-hmm. Get somebody who knows this team.
Sweeney is a good developing assistant coach. He developed Giannis, but he's not a good he doesn't know how to set plays. Like Killian Hayes is elite pick and roll point guard. We have not seen Killian Hayes play a lot of point guard pick and roll. Have you guys seen him?
No.
I haven't seen a lot of pick and roll. We need to put a guy who can roll. I mean, Killian Hayes has been trying to penetrate and then lob it to Plumlee. He's not really traditionally playing pick and roll. He's more a penetration than have the guy roll. I do feel like assistant coaches are a problem here for us. And I think Casey is probably his time is up because he's not really as good as Nick Nurse. Nick Nurse is a better coach. I definitely agree on that. What do you guys feel about that?
Better coach than Casey? Yes, he is. Yes, he is. I watch Nick Nurse consistently adapt to whatever's going on in the playoff series, win or lose. No, he's definitely a better coach.
Yeah. That is the only video of mine that has gotten ratio and dislikes where I had more dislikes than likes because I was on the bandwagon with Casey. I think it was like the first game we beat Toronto with the tap-in buzzer beater, and I made a video saying Dwayne Casey was a better coach than Nick Nurse. Looking back on it, it's probably one of the worst takes I've ever had, and I deserve all those dislikes.
Here's the thing that what pisses me off with Casey and his lineups. The problem is he'll take it's not just like one player he'll swap in out. He'll take like a bunch of guys out and then kind of ship them in. I noticed in certain times during the game, he'll take them out and then they don't have any rhythm because they've been you brought in Deleon Wright yesterday in there. and he was cold as ice. Like he wasn't even. I didn't even notice that he went in the game at all the whole second half to like what, the fourth quarter, like the end of the third quarter or something like that. And I'm like, why are you just not bringing him in here? And then you got him out there with Killian. So you had him at the 1, and I guess you put Killian at the 2, and then it's like you eventually brought Steve Mihailuk back in there, which I'm okay with. But if you don't do that, have Mihailuk come out there with a legit point guard that can help put him in the spot he needs to shoot the basketball in. Because people are going to try to cover him now. You're putting guys out there, and it's like they don't know how to play with each other, and then they have to spend time trying to find rhythm. That's already an issue on team. They got to get better at playing with each other. Why are you forcing guys who really don't have chemistry? You didn't even build any plays amongst guys to be able to play with each other. You just throwing them out there at random when you got Tatum and Dwayne Brown out there to deal with. Like, what are you doing? And that's why they were coming back like the playoff team that they are in the fourth quarter, because his lineups, man. Like, that's what's really the ultimate killer. You're not giving Sekou any minutes to play with. You giving him 10 minutes. Like, the minutes you giving him, like, it just don't make sense. Like, I remember when he was giving Don Maker more minutes than Wood, and we were all sitting here looking like, what is he doing? And he acted like nothing was wrong with it. It's like, bro, you can't do that to somebody that's young and think that's right. That's kind of why he has to go, man. I think it's like he's going to continue to do that. But how many years is it going to take for you to learn? You have to put guys who match together. It's a puzzle. You got to put people who match together. Why are you just throwing random people out there that probably barely played most of the game and you're thinking they're just going to come in and get hot? It doesn't make sense.
You guys remember this line? DeRozan dunked on Anthony Tolliver. I remember he took it coast to coast.
What happened?
Tolliver didn't deserve that, man.
Man, we were winning that game.
Yeah,
like,
Blake Griffin actually pushed him into it too.
Tolliver did not deserve that one bit.
No, but that was very painful because DeMar DeRozan ended our season with that dunk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
DeMar DeRozan. Like I like, so I can't forgive Tolliver. I don't care. Yo, our season got ended with you getting murdered. Like that literal play, Piston season, go right on Tolliver's head and it's done. So like,
you have to remember though, man, when he was coming down with the ball, Blake was in the paint right next to Tolliver. It seemed like Blake kind of shifted Tolliver into it and then ran off.
I don't think Blake shifted Tolliver at all. Tolliver sized up DeRozan and was like, I'm about to contest this. And DeRozan was like, you really about to do this?
I mean, well said, he had to. Nobody else was there to do it.
$43.
Wait, what you talking about, Blake? You talking about
they
Blake?
They should have double teamed his butt. That's what I'm saying.
Nothing to do with that, bro.
They should have double teamed his butt.
Nothing to do with that. Let me see. Because like I gotta look at the dunk replay because Blake didn't have nothing. He's trying to blame Blake. Tolliver got murdered, bro.
Down there initially when Rosen was coming down with the ball, then Blake was like, "Oh, shit." I swear to God, I remember saying that shit.
bro.
Yeah,
let me see.
They should have double teamed him before he even got past the 3-point line. That probably would have never happened.
Lest DeRozan be a
okay, so Blake closed out on the shoot first. Wait, okay. Blake closed out on the shooter, but he moved out the way. And Tolliver tried to get Tolliver jumped at DeMar DeRozan and tried to contest. And he got like, bruh. Like that's what happened to Tice last night. That's what happened to Tice last game.
Oh,
and Arkansas as well. But we're going to do it.
I'd love to have Tolliver here though right now.
I don't know if he's really good at getting minutes if he cuts here. I don't think so. We have Ellington right now. He's not even getting minutes.
This is going to be a long season if we're going to end the show is talking about our former players getting murdered on dunks.
Yeah.
Did you remember
I brought up Jerami Grant, dog.
Did you guys see you saw this already in the first couple of games or 30 games? What's his name? JaVale McGee took it coast to coast and dunked on the Pistons. James Wiseman took it coast to coast and dunked on the
don't remind me of that one.
The worst one is Sabonis, bro, where we just cleared a path for him, let him walk.
Oh, that was hilarious.
Oh my god!
No one picked him up.
Wiseman did that, bro, because I was like, He just got the block. I said, I know he go past the ball. He running down the court. He a rookie. He go past the ball. He is not finna dunk this on us. He is not finna dunk. He dunked right on us. You son of a bitch. You punk. How do you bald as hell? Why would you do it? How you gonna block our shot and then run it down the other end of the court and slam us too? You insult son of a gun.
The worst part about it, they made it on Shaq and Fool, gave him a police escort to the rim, dude. That was so embarrassing.
Yeah. This Sabonis play, Drew, is probably the worst dunk I've ever seen from a Piston team because the Wiseman dunk I could live with because at least they kind of tried to slow him down. The Sabonis one, the Pistons just cleared out a path. Like you have to look it up. He literally just like walked. He could have walked through and dunked that damn thing.
The funny thing, he wasn't even running. He was like jogging.
He wasn't like a wild jog. It was terrible, but yeah, if we're gonna be doing this is gonna be a long ass season, fellas.
Oh, yeah, we're only 5 games in.
Yeah, we gonna see the temperature of everybody after we see Boston tomorrow.
We're 5 games in. I got shit faced on camera once, and now we're talking about former players getting dunked on. It's gonna be a hell of a year, guys. Stay tuned.
Yeah,
sure. Well, if you guys doesn't look like we really have any more questions, but if you guys want to talk about anything or you want to wrap it up, just let me know.
We can wrap it up, man.
All right.
Unless y'all want to talk about something.
Yeah, I'm tired about talking about how much we suck.
Yeah, although we've been on for 2 hours, got 74 people watching the video. Try to get it up to 74 likes if you guys can. I do appreciate that. Also, subscribe to Detroit Drew, Nomis J, and 313 JMO, Speak Easy, PD Sports. I will have all their links down in the description below. Appreciate you guys rocking with us for over 2 hours, and we're out.